Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's get it, let's get it. Let me get a one if you guys can see me, you can hear me, if everything is cool. Hey, what's going on, Raspberry? I see you, Sister Wives crew. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Let me see if I can get a one in the chat to know that I'm all the way live. And some people might ask, why do you do that, James? Because sometimes I'll be sitting there talking to myself, thinking that I'm already live and I'm nowhere near live. All right, I see some ones popping. Awesome. All right, so welcome to Sunday. Tonight we were going to be talking about some of those MLMs because for those who may not be aware, what's going on? Hey, what's happening, folks? For those who may not be aware, for the last couple weeks, I was putting forth the idea or notion that Sister Wife's Closet was actually a multi-level marketing business started, from the ground up, as a lot of these network marketing companies like to say. The way it was proposed, the way it was introduced, the way they talked about it, this was going to be the Sister Wives version of a multi-level marketing business that they themselves were going to start. And because they were on top, as with all multi-level marketing businesses or network businesses, the people on top make the money. Full stop. The people who are at the top of the multi-level marketing pyramid make the money. Now, I'll give folks a little time to kind of get ready, get set, get logged in. I got some new features that I will be putting up. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. You may have noticed that there is a question that I was able to post asking if folks have subscribed to the channel and or have you already hit the like button. I say, why wait, guys? Go hit that like button. Let a brother know that you like what I'm doing in anticipation. I like an anticipation of what we have going on. There's nothing wrong with that. The Bronze Empress in the house. What's happening? Maritza, what's up? What's up? It's me, Grammy, in the house. Oh, did I ever figure out what happened to the upload last week? Yeah. Yes, I did. Let's just say YouTube got a player. YouTube was not happy with me. So they did some things to my job. Like, it was actually able to be uploaded, but the way they made me put it up, they took out, like, it was like a 4-hour live, I think. And they knocked it down to about an hour, right? And this goes beyond, like, to be honest with you, this goes beyond any kind of copyright claim, because I know a lot of folks are saying, oh, it's a copyright stuff, that's why they did it. No. No, it wasn't. Because a copyright claim, at most, I use small clips, very, very small clips, for anything that I'm trying to support as far as like documentation or receipts that I try to bring up from the show. It's kind of like if you do a book report, you go back and you will cite passages from the book that you've read in order to substantiate your point. So I don't want to, like, if I was reading a book and we were sitting there discussing a book, I would use phrases, terms, or excerpts from the book in order to prove my point as to why I believe what I believe and why it is the way it is. But yeah, they didn't buy that. They were not they were not fans of my situation. Gotta put my seat up. Hold on a second, guys. I gotta put my seat up real quick. All right, I'm back. Yeah, if you saw it, I went like, all of a sudden I just put my seat back up. But yeah, so they took a brother down. That's why I did the live on, I believe it was that Monday. I did a follow-up live where I kind of retreaded some of the same territory that I covered in that first live. So if you missed that Sunday night live, if you caught up on that Monday night live, the last one I put out, the last live I put out, then you're all caught up. I mean, it was basically those things. I will say this, though. Some of the concepts that I came up with during that Monday night live, I was very much on board. Like, I was thinking about it as we were doing it, and some of my revelations actually came out like live and in person while I was doing the. I think I was talking to my way through it, and I started thinking about it. Like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. So some of that is in there as well. It's just a little more polished. So because I had more time to think about it, it wasn't just me catching it at the moment. Giggity giggity. So, all right, we're 243 in the house. All right, got some decent likes up. Don't forget to hit that like button. I appreciate it. Also, if you're not yet subscribed, then please subscribe. All right, so right off the rip, when it comes to a lot of the things that we'll be talking about tonight with regard to multi-level marketing businesses. Well, first, let's use one of the things that I have. Let me ask a question. Have you ever been involved in an MLM, like going to a meeting or whatever the case may be? Let's see how this works. So, have you ever been, like, just simple question. Have you ever been, Jamie Galan said, well, boys out, turn the sound on. All right, awesome. Have you ever, oh, thank you, Lizzie B. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys coming through, hanging out with a player. Scarlet Letter said, yeah, damn, that was a multi-level marketing thing too. Absolutely. I think that was, and like I said, when I tried to put it together, I wanted to explain, I'll go back to it, but I wanted to explain kind of where my mind was with regard to the Sister Wife's Closet and why I believe it was a multi-level marketing business. Because a lot of their experience came from being involved with multi-level marketing businesses. This is how they made a lot of their money. And there's a lot of things that kind of went into it. So the question that I put up was, have you ever been involved with a multi-level marketing venture or opportunity, as they like to call it, network marketing? Have you ever gone to a meeting? Have you ever had a friend approach you about these wonderful opportunities that are available to you if you just come by their house on Sunday, Saturday or Sunday or during the week? It only take a little bit and they can introduce you to something that could potentially change your life. This is how a lot of these opportunities, quote unquote, opportunities are presented. And of course, I wanted to talk about how the Sister Wives, even the OG3, are part of these multi-level marketing businesses. And to be honest with you, one of the things that occurred to me as I was talking about it and talking my way through it is that the multi-level marketing business structure is very similar to how the Brown family finances worked. If you think about it, oh wow. If you think about it, a lot of their, the way that they approach each other, the way that they talk to each other, Arju, bring her in the house. Bring her in the house. The way they talk to each other, the way they deal with each other is a lot like how a lot of these multi-level marketing businesses work. Like, for instance, in a multi-level marketing business, I can see a situation where when Cody and the family first joined the multi-level marketing businesses or whatever, or knows to us, when Cody pulls up in a brand new convertible Murano and he's like, yeah, you know, this is from my marketing business that I have going on. This is kind of a bonus. Then you notice that, like, after a while, he stopped driving that car. Because I think they took the car back. I think that this was a car that they leased for him and allowed him to drive as long as he was hitting certain numbers and he was making a certain amount of money. Now, why do I think that? I think that because what happens is, especially understanding like some of the things that Cody has said, he comes in and he says that I'm the CEO, I'm the boss, I'm the patriarch. So if he has these 4 wives and he enters into that multi-level marketing business, I believe it was Vit Entertainment or Event Enterprises. Let me take a look. I had it this morning. Oh, he was involved with LIV, uh, pyramid scheme. So they were involved with live pyramid scheme, and I can see a scenario where Cody shows up with his 4 wives. All of them are on television. So they show up, and Cody says, all right, here's what we're going to do, because we have to establish downlines, and that's a very important thing. You join become a IBO, independent business owner, ambassador, or whatever his company chooses to call it, and you develop a downline, and based on the downline, the money that downline makes, all that money flows up through the pyramid. So if he joins the company with his 4 wives, he says to his 4 wives, why don't you guys all sign up under me? I'll be your upline, you be my downline, and then that way, anything that these women make, a portion of that would go to Cody. So say Janelle started out in this group, and she was having meetings, or more to the point, Mary. She was having meetings, people were over at the house all the time, and people signed up. Then wow, all of a sudden, all the people that Mary signs up would fall under Cody as well. They would all become part of Cody's downline, and he would be able to get benefit from these women's hard work or labor. And I could see a scenario where Cody did that from the beginning. And because they're on television, and because they would have a broader reach, they'll have a lot of people sign up. And because he has 4 wives who are getting a lot of people to sign up under them, all of a sudden Cody shoots from just a regular IBO all the way up to maybe a platinum or gold or whatever precious metal award that he received. And based on that award, he was able to get that car. And the reason I say that is because he had said it, or at least the wives, and he had presented it, that the Murano was kind of this business gift, this bonus that he had for doing such a great job, that they gave him this car. And my question is, if they gave him that car, why did he get rid of that car? I mean, they were pushing that Lexus around forever, but he was driving the hell out of that Murano. So what happened to the Murano? If they gave you the car, if you were selling cars, why wouldn't you sell the Lexuses? You probably could have got a little bit more money. Just saying. So, but let me get this super chat. Let me see if I can find it so I can put it up on the screen. Thank you. Somebody said nice shirt. Thank you very much. Trying to switch it up since you guys keep calling me Papa Smurf. Just joking. Why is this not showing up? All right, Cheryl K, $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I can't call it up on the screen. Melissa, I appreciate it. $10 super chat. What? Said I turned 46 today. Okay. Living that life. Hope you had a great birthday. Just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate your thoughts and your thought-provoking views on Sister Wives. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. And by the way, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Today is just for you. Happy birthday. You know just what to do. Hit the like and enjoy the show that we produce. I hope that you like what we do just for you. Thank you very much. Just came up with that. Might not be good. Might not be fantastic. Don't murder me in the chats. Please. But, yeah, so as I'm talking about the, let me say Cody Brown, MLM. Yeah, I want to say it was Live, but that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Yeah, I had it this morning. Scrap. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know. Let me, my screen chat and my other chat stopped, so the Kremlins are in full effect. Thank you, Lizzie B. I appreciate that. Let me do this. Start chat. Bow. And then I'll pop this back out. Yes, I was kind of curious, like how many folks actually participated in the MLMs. Oh, there we go. All right, now it just started. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you for letting me know. I thought it was just on my end that the chat stopped. That the chat stopped. That the chat stopped. All right, I think that's it, right? Tom from 90 Day Fiance was in a multi-level marketing. I believe it. I believe it. And we'll get into it. Let's start diving in. Uh yeah, because like I say, Cody was involved with the MLM, and I do believe that when he signed up for the MLM, he had the sister wives sign up underneath him. And where I draw the parallel to how the family worked, a lot of the money that came into the family, even through TLC. So when they were getting the TLC checks, those TLC checks were going into the Cody Brown Entertainment LLC account, or the family fund, the family account. And he was deciding how to distribute those monies. That's a lot like how a lot of these a lot of these multi-level marketing businesses work. So as you have money come in, that money goes in, it comes up, and then boom, it hits the top. It hits the top. Everything goes up in a multi-level marketing business. Valerie L says, James, please do a series on Who the F Did I Marry? I like the show. Dollar and I super chat. Yeah, you know what? I didn't think of that. That would be a good one. Because some of those things are crazy. I think I'm gonna do that on my true crime chat page. I think that would be great to do on a true crime page. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Thanks for the idea. Giving me new ideas. And Eve actually sent me some pretty good ideas too. So if you guys see her, give her a thumbs up because she's awesome as well. Yeah, so I was kind of curious. I'll close that question Q&A out. But I was kind of curious, like how many folks had actually been involved with some of the multi-level marketing stuff, just because it's prevalent, and ironically, it seems like people get hit multiple times. Like, to be honest with you, I've been invited to these meetings several times, and sometimes I'll go and I'll try to talk to friends of mine out of joining it. Like, I'll just sit there and listen. And every time I go, it's always like, yo, man, you need to come down and listen to this great explanation. And they're going to tune you on some stuff. And it's going to be amazing. And you're not even going, it's going to change your life and everything that you have going on. And you need to just come down and do it. So you go down. And every time I go down with the same intention, I just want to hear what they have to say. I'll take my little notes, take my little notepad with me, take my notes. And then after the meeting, I'll ask some pointed questions. And then they always they'll break off into smaller groups. They'll tell us to get, I went to one, and the lady got slick. So I guess she kind of got hit or burned before with people coming in asking too many questions. Said I'm a little blurry. Let me see. Somebody came in. Hopefully that cleared that up a little bit. Came in and they asked the wrong questions. Then all of a sudden, people got, upset. And so they decided that from this point forward, when you have any questions about what's going on with these multi-level marketing businesses, how to make money, how do things turn out, then what you need to do is you need to talk to the people who brought you in, and then they'll contact their upline if they have any other questions that they need to get answers or whatever. And so before we get started with anything, I think that it's important that before we start talking about anything, we actually take a moment to take in what the definitions of each one of these concepts are so we know exactly what we're talking about. Now, first, I wanted to drop what a pyramid scheme is. A lot of times when people talk about multi-level marketing businesses or network marketing businesses, we'll refer to them as pyramid schemes. I've done it in the past, and this is what a pyramid scheme is. A pyramid scheme is a fraudulent system of making money based on recruiting an ever-increasing number of investors. The initial promoters... God damn, that was loud. I'm sorry, that was loud. That was loud as hell. Holy smokes, that was loud as shit. I'm going to lower that a little bit. Let me see. A pyramid scheme is a fraudulent system of making money based on recruiting an ever-increasing number of investors. The initial promoters recruit investors who in turn recruit more investors, and so on. Okay, so I guess it wasn't that bad. It was loud, but okay. Somebody said it's not bad on my end. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Maybe it's just loud for me. But the way a lot of these work, the pyramid schemes, they just recruit people. That's essentially the big difference. With a pyramid scheme, there's no products involved. Like, they aren't selling you anything. Pyramid scheme might take the form more of a group of people saying, hey, how about we get into a situation, a scenario where, we have 3 people, each one of us will give $100. So the person on top, the person who starts it, I will receive $100 from 2 of my friends, right? So at the end of the month or the pay period, we'll do it monthly. At the end of the month, I'll get $200. Then next month, the second person who I recruited will be on top of the pyramid. I'll go to the bottom of the pyramid. I'll give my $100. The other person give their $100. That person gets $200. And the way it can be easily explained is, this is just money that we're kind of recycling through. And because we're grouping our money, when it's your turn to get the money, you're going to get this windfall of money. Now, of course, if we can recruit more people to join the pyramid and come in with us, then that money will cycle around. Like, that's the way I've heard it explained before, like in a friendlier scam or scheme of a pyramid, where you have, say, 10 people. That's $1,000. And you have one person on top. Then at the end of that month, so it's 11 people total. At the end of that month, 10 people give $100. $1,000 in January goes to the person on top. That person goes to the bottom. They give $100 with the other 10 people, other 9 people. Then the one person on top, he gets $1,000 in February. Then it goes to the bottom, and then so on and so forth. Now, where that becomes kind of hazy and shady and crazy is that you'll have somebody like me started 10 people already on in the pyramid. They give me the $1,000, and instead of me going to the bottom of the pyramid, now I quit. I got my money. Thank you very much. Or somebody will do it for 3 months. They give up $300. Then they get $1,000. Then they're no longer wanting to do it anymore. They quit. So you got to replace those people. And that's how a lot of times those pyramid schemes actually become very, very problematic very, very quickly. Now, this is if everybody's trying to be cool and everybody's trying to be friendly. James, this is for Valerie L. She was talking about Risa Tessa on TikTok. Who the fuck did I marry? It's been very popular. Okay, $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Just scrapping. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I will take a look at it because I do like those shows. Like I used to watch a lot of the Wives with Knives. The Who the F Did I Marry? Who is my neighbor? Who am I living next to? Like Killer in the Wind. You know what I mean? Babes in the Basement. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, it'll have you scared. Like there was one where what was it? The women, every time they had the ladies on there, the dudes be messing up or whatever. or the women marry these guys for their money, all of a sudden they start poisoning their ass. Like, like it's insane. It get crazy. Like I am going to do those. I'm going to do those. Snapped. Yeah, Snap's another one. Like those things are crazy. But so that's what a lot of people have determined with the pyramid scheme portion of it, right? So, like I said, the pyramid schemes are always illegal. They're illegal in both. Most states will have statutes which makes pyramid schemes illegal, and they're also illegal on the federal level. So if you do it big, then you got the feds coming at you, and you're doing Fed time. Now, the other one that we're going to talk about more specifically would be a multi-level marketing business. Let's listen to the definition of that real quick. Multi-level marketing refers to a strategy used by some direct sales companies to sell products and services. MLM encourages existing members to promote and sell their offerings to other individuals and bring new recruits into the business. Now, the only real substantive difference between an MLM, as most people present it, and a pyramid scheme, or a pyramid, we'll call it a pyramid scheme basically, is that the pyramid scheme doesn't offer products or services. The multi-level marketing business will oftentimes offer these products and services, and they'll offer them to the people and say, hey, this is what it's all about. And guys, it's so great because we have this specialty thing. And if you like wine or trips or vacations or insurance or energy, like I've heard of a guy try to get me in the one that was about energy. Like you could buy electricity provider. They wanted to do it. Health and beauty, weight loss, anything. They have MLMs about anything. Energy drinks, that was a big one with Vima, with the college kids. And they present it in such a way that it becomes attractive because of the way that they present it. So the products themselves, 9 times out of 10, are garbage, if you will. It just, they don't make sense. Like even as a business, because that's one of the funny things that has always kind of struck me. The way that they approach it like it's a business. It's presented as a business opportunity. This is a great opportunity for you to get in on the ground floor. They say that a lot. Like you can always get this in on the ground floor and, you know, this will be a huge thing and everybody wants to be the one who starts. Like that's one of the things that I could see them saying about Sister Wife's Closet. You know, we started this out. We started out. You know who we are. You know what we're about. You know that we're a family. You've seen our family grow. You've seen our family develop. And we want to make sure that you guys get in on the ground floor for our success because we want to share it with you. So they give you this opportunity. And because they give you this opportunity, even though I'm sure Cody and Mary and Janelle and Christine and everybody has had the opportunity to do these presentations where they call themselves having a business meeting where they invite people over to tell them about this great opportunity. They felt like they were ready to go forward and talk to venture capitalists about business investments. And this is why they were so ill prepared to have these conversations. This is why they were so ill prepared, because they don't know anything about business. The sad part about it is that when they talk about the business stuff that they were going to have people do and the training that they were going to provide for people to do it in, they don't know anything about actual business and how actual businesses work. And you can tell that by the presentation that they made to these people when they were asking for money. I get it. Like, there's going to be some people who are going to say, but James, there's some products that I like, and there's some products that I will use. And that's not to say that every single product has no use. It's just that my question is this. If you were involved with a multi-level marketing business, why does that business even exist today? network marketing, I could see the concept as presented by people who are involved in it. I can see that being a viable. It sounds good. I can see it being one of those things that sounds good, maybe in the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. But today, it doesn't make any sense, especially in a internet marketplace. It doesn't make sense. Like, oh, well, we like to spread it around, and that way we have friends contacting friends. Hell, you have friends who don't even get together to go out and have a drink anymore. Or their friendship is basically online on Facebook, Instagram, or one of the social media sites. Half the time when you see these multi-level marketing people, that's how they get their recruits. They're online, reaching out to people that, hey, you want to get some Herbalife or vitamin this or Plexus Nexus, or you want to get some Vima. I think Vima's actually closed. But do you want to do that? Why wouldn't a company do that? It doesn't cost anything. Back in the day, you could say, well, they didn't have the money to put the marketing in so that they get advertised on the maybe 3 or 4 or 6 channel TV stations that they had in your area. It would be too much of a market. It'd be too expensive. But now nobody watches centralized television anymore. Back in the day, if you were on a television show, realistically, you would be damn near a star if you were on a TV show. Now, you could be on a TV show that nobody's ever seen or heard of. Hell, there's Sylvester Stallone actually did a TV show, and I haven't watched it yet. I want to watch it. I haven't watched it. Arnold Schwarzenegger did a show, Fubar. I want to watch that. It's on Netflix. I want to watch that. I haven't had time to watch it. Sit down and watch it. So there's a lot of shows that are just out there. There's a lot of platforms that are out there. Disney Plus, Max, YouTube TV, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and these are just a few. So there's no point in you having like a whole thing where you're going to do the shotgun approach where you're spending a whole bunch of money. They don't have to spend money. And with the way you do drop shipping now, like if I sign up for Amazon and I want to start my own business and start selling stuff, I could contact Amazon, buy a bunch of stuff, put it in Amazon warehouse. I don't have to worry about shipping anything. So why would I do that? Erica MF, $2 super chat. No messages to love. Thank you so much, Erica. Appreciate it. So that's some of the questions that you would have to ask. Why would they do it? The products themselves, 9 times out of 10, no matter how good the products are, or whether you use the service or not, they're not competitively priced. Go to Nexus website. I went to Nexus website to do some research, and I couldn't pull any of the products down so that I could post them here to show. And when I looked at the products, these products are like $300, $400, $500. I could go to a vitamin shop, get the same thing for a third of the money, quarter the money. I could get the same products instead of, and these will be products that are more widely known, more established, that have been around longer, and probably more effective. The thing with the stuff that Janelle is doing, Plexus, she had a whole dispute or argument online that came out on Instagram, where somebody criticized her because she went on the cruise line for Plexus as a brand ambassador. She got to go on a cruise line and give her a big old suite. And this is what she had to say. Most of these companies have fat cats at the top and take home the earnings and massive salaries and stock options. Plexus chooses to spend their profits on commissions, perks, and awards for ambassadors. So I guess you can choose if you want to support big corporations or buy from someone you know. Now, as she said, she was talking about trying to defend, working with these multi-level marketing companies. Well, these fat cats, they take all the money and they just keep it all to themselves. Whereas with these other companies, like these multi-level marketing companies, they take the money and they invest it back into the independent business owners, the contractors, the brand ambassadors, and they give them trips and they give them perks and bonuses, and they give all this stuff to them because they're helping to move their thing, and it's such a big deal. But the truth of the matter is that they I feel bad for Janelle, because it's like, Janelle, they're not Nell, they're not giving that stuff to the normal people. You are in a specific position. And when you look at multi-level marketing businesses, I pretty much put them into 3 buckets. You have the upline, which would be the top of the multi-level marketing business. These are the people who, are at the top. They're making a lot of the money. They're doing all the big, woo, we gonna make it all this money. It's incredible. You could be a part of the team and blah, blah, blah. And they're making millions. They're making a lot of money. Then you have the downline who's making jack shit. Okay, they're not making any money. They're losing money, hand over fist. Then, of course, those are basically the regular folks who come in. They start off the business. They're not making any money. In some cases, they're asked to buy these starter packs that will cost anywhere from $60 all the way up to $5,000-$6,000 for you to have the privilege of calling yourself an independent business owner or representative contractor, or whatever the case may be, and start your own business for this great opportunity. And so you can spend your nights, days, and weekends trying to convince people to come and join this business so they can be part of your downline so you can make some of your money back. Then, of course, you have people who are closer to spokespeople. And these people are the celebrity guests, the celebrity endorsement folks who come in, and it really is 4 buckets. The celebrity folks will come in like Janelle and Christine. They have a huge downline because people don't necessarily want to join the business or get the products, but they want to be in a close proximity to these folks. So they get to go to the meetings with them. They get to listen to them talk during the course of these meetings, etc., etc., etc. And they get that benefit of just being there. So you have these huge celebrities with these huge downlines, and they're not knocking on doors and begging people to come to meetings. They're just, hey, I'm James from MyTakeOnReality. Come join my downline. And I'll have like calls, and you call up to the call, and I'll be like, guys, you can really do this. You believe in yourself. It's amazing. And then you can make millions. You can have financial freedom. All you got to do is contact your upline, and they'll get with you and give you the training and the skills and the techniques you need in order for you to be successful like me. All right, guys, I'm out. Boom, gone. And then you'll have these huge downlines. You'll make a ton of money, and then you get to go on cruises. But most of the people that you deal with aren't going on the cruises with you. They're not going on these trips. They're not paying their bills. They couldn't pay a bill. For most people, their involvement with these MLMs would be the equivalent of the Sister Wives' involvement with Sister Wife's Closet going to these conventions. I don't make enough money where I could pay a light bill with this. And that's where most people find themselves. And of course, you have the other people who make a shit ton of money in these MLMs, and that would be the guest speakers or the trainers. The people who are supposed to come in and get you excited and give you these big presentations on how the business is going to work and how you can tie your wagon to this and you can make a ton of money, and you just follow the process. You just keep believing in yourself. You don't quit. You keep showing up. You're going to be a success. They make a ton of money too. They can make $250,000, $250,000 to $1 million a year just doing that and never sell a product. That's what you're kind of dealing with. Alicia in the house, $99 super chat. Thank you so much. James teaching us to avoid scams. 100. Yeah, right. I don't want nobody getting scammed. Thank you, James. No problem, Alicia. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button. Get the video out. Erica MF. Can you imagine Janelle on stage with an earpiece, giving a hype speech, introducing Cody? $5 super chat. Yeah, right. That would be awesome. Like, what was that? Cody's in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, Cody Brown. And he come out doing his wild man dancing, kicking his feet all crazy. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. And even when I talk about, because I know there will be somebody maybe eventually at some point, if they ever watch this video, who'll come out and say, "Oh, but James, the plexus stuff, it works. They lose a lot of weight." Here's a little hint, and this is kind of inside baseball. When you do things like plexus, when you do things like a lot of these, like even with body shaping, guys going to the gym and they working out, and then all of a sudden I took this steroid, not steroids, but I took this product and it's supposed to be a bulker, or I took this mass gainer, or I took this creatine, or pre-workout, or whatever the case may be, or I took these diet pills, and you say, "Wow, you look amazing." Is it because of this product? Most cases, no. Because what happens especially when you become a brand ambassador, what happens? This is your business now. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is, first and foremost, there's something we have to understand right off the top. Utah specifically has a deal. The senators from Utah, the federal senators from Utah, the people who sit in the Senate, the federal senators from Utah have made it a point to work with the FDA to not require supplements and those type of like energy drinks and all that stuff. They are not to be regulated the same way you regulate everything else. They don't have to provide you the nutrition facts. They don't have to provide you efficacy, meaning they don't have to actually prove that the shit works. They don't have to prove it works. So they can sell you a jug of donkey dew or a cat piss and tell you that, hey, if you drink this 3 times a day, you're going to lose all kinds of weight. This is going to get your hair back, or whatever the case may be. All all results are not the same. Results may vary is usually the disclaimer that they use. And when they do that, the people will, because they don't have the same regulation, you can make whatever claim you want to make in a lot of these MLMs. The MLMs benefit heavy. That's why you have so many that are, especially between the MLMs, and you have a lot of the nutrition brands, a lot of the, you go into GNC, the vitamin store, all those places. Those products come out of Utah for a reason. They come out of Utah for a reason. So you have that. So you don't have to worry about efficacy. You don't have to worry about the effectiveness of the product. But when you start the product and you say, I'm going to be a brand ambassador for Plexus, and I'm going to start, doing these diet drinks. So in order for you to do the diet drinks, they start sending them to you, right? Because you have to buy the starter pack, and you have to buy so much of it in order for you to maintain the status of your relationship with the company so that you can make money. Now, what's going to happen when you do that? You're going to start making life changes. Guarantee you. You're going to start making life changes. What's those life changes? You're going to start going to the gym. You're going to start eating better. And you're going to start drinking these shitty shakes. You're going to start drinking these purple and blue and green shakes. And then what's going to happen after the first month of you doing this? You're going to sit there and say, wow, this stuff is really working. It's not working. You know what's working? The fact that you changed your diet, and the fact you started to go to the gym, or you started working out. You started exercising. And exercising doesn't have to be just you going to the gym. You started taking the stairs more. You started walking more. You started to become more active. You started doing more things. Now all of a sudden the weight is starting to peel off. And because you're drinking this drink and it's acting as like a placebo, you're thinking that this drink is changing my life. This drink is making it happen. But it's not. The crazy part is not. If you look at McKelty, like, wow, McKelty lost a lot of weight because she's been drinking his drink. I bet you McKelty changed her diet. And I also noticed that during her Patreon lives, if you look in the back of McKelty's basement, I guess that's where it is, she has a squat rack back there. And she has attachments to the squat rack. Like she has the cable pull down machine is hooked up to free weights. She has a treadmill next to her. You think they're not using that stuff? They have dumbbells that are set up. You think they're not using that stuff? So it comes down to just the fact that you're thinking that you're doing something, but you're not doing the weight loss that you're achieving and the goals that you're achieving aren't necessarily tied to the product that you're consuming at $300 for a 1 month supply. And you have to keep buying it. And that's kind of the weird thing about it too, because even with businesses, could you imagine sister wives? They tell you that in order for you to be a sister wife conglomerate or sister wife associate or independent business owner, you have to sell sister wife. Scarlet Letter. I remember the pink Cadillacs. Avon. I thought the pink Cadillacs were somebody else. But you have to remember this. If you signed up for one of these businesses, right, why don't they train you to think like a businessman? And this is one of the things that I'd asked when I went to one of these meetings with a buddy of mine. Like, how come they don't, like, you sit down, the first thing they start talking about is financial freedom. And you can join this group, and who doesn't want to be financial free? I got this kind of car. I live in this kind of house. I make this kind of money. I take my kids and my wife on all kinds of glorious vacations. It's incredible. All the things that I could be doing. And as I'm sitting here listening to this guy talk about all this money that he have, one question just kept hitting my mind every time he said something. If you have all this time and all this money, you have all this financial freedom, why the heck are you here with me? Telling me about all the stuff you got and all the freedom you have. Why aren't you out being free? Why aren't you out being free? Why aren't you doing the things that you say that you did all this stuff, you worked your way up and you've achieved the pinnacle of your goals and your dreams and your ambitions. You have this big old business and it's successful and you're making all kinds of money. Why are you spending your time with a bunch of strangers? And the truth of the matter is he's spending his time there because most of the people who are standing there telling you about all the things they have, they don't have anything. They don't have money. They broke as hell. Which also gets into another problem that I have. Every one of them will sit there and say, if you've ever been to one of these meetings, you'll always notice that they always want to talk about other businesses. So they'll talk about like McDonald's. That's a big one. Oh, it's like McDonald's. And basically what we're teaching you to do is to franchise. Because there was a guy named Kruk, I think his name was. And he came into the McDonald's brothers who were selling hamburgers. And he said to them, wow, these burgers are tasty. And I want to start selling hamburgers too. And then all of a sudden, when I went to them to start selling these hamburgers, he bought the business. And then he started creating, like, he had people teach him how to make the McDonald's brothers teach him how to make the hamburgers. He bought the name, bought the title, bought the recipes, and he started opening up McDonald's, and that's how he made money. And that's what we're going to teach you how to do. We're going to basically teach you how to franchise your success. And my question is this. This is one of the other things that was kicking around my head when I heard them talk about McDonald's. Well, McDonald's has a recipe for how they are successful. In fact, if you open up, if it would cost almost $1 million to open a McDonald's. If I had $1 million just laying around, I wanted to open a McDonald's. Invest in a McDonald's, start my own franchise in McDonald's, be a franchisee for McDonald's. And McDonald's would take my money and they would send me to school so that I can learn how to be a McDonald's owner and operator. They would send me to school. In fact, they have a thing, McDonald's University, that you go to school. You not only learn how to set the tables, you know how to clean, you know how to clean the fryers, you know what the fryers do, what to cook, how to cook it. You know, you get you have to order the the products from McDonald's because they want each one of the McDonald's to be the exact same. So they don't want me out shopping at at the Acme or the Piggly Wiggly, going down to BJ's or Costco, buying pounds and pounds of hamburger meat, crushing my own hamburgers to make patties. They don't want you doing that. So they want all their stuff to taste the same. So I'll have to buy from them in order to do that. But with that being said, they will teach me everything I need to know about how to run a successful McDonald's. Why? Because ultimately, at its root, if you've ever seen, I think they did a documentary not long ago. I knew this from before, just watching how the business worked and developed. But I think there was a documentary that talked about McDonald's. McDonald's is not a hamburger business. McDonald's is a realtor business, a real estate business that sells hamburgers. They make sure that they buy land and property, and they want to make sure that that land and property is going to be in valuable places so that they can generate a real estate empire, not a hamburger empire. So when they talk about McDonald's, they don't even know the business that they're talking about. And even at the end of the day, McDonald's is invested in making sure that that McDonald's is popular and it works and is successful. When you join these multi-level marketing businesses, they are not invested in you to be successful. They don't give a shit whether you make money or don't make money. They just want to make sure that you get your people. And why am I showing up to a meeting with these folks about these products or whatever, or this business opportunity, and instead of them teaching me how the business opportunity works, they tell me to give them the names and numbers of my friends and family so that they can contact them to offer them the business deal, or I could offer them the business deal so they could become my franchisee. What am I franchising? I don't even know what the business deal is. I don't know how this business works. Why would I hire somebody or tell somebody about a business that I don't even know how it works? And you know, the best advertisement for that would be if I was actually making money doing it. So if you join a business and you're actually making a ton of money, how many times have you ever had a good job, or you had like you ever had a good job and you were making good money, or maybe you bought a house or a car in a nice neighborhood or whatever the case may be, you bought a house and people are like, well, how'd you get that house? What are you doing for a living? They trying to figure out what it is you do and whether they could do it too. Right? Maybe you've had that conversation. What are you doing for a living? This is nice. This is a nice car. This is a nice house. This is a nice apartment. You know, how you making this money? That's its own advertisement. Your success would be its own advertisement. So how am I going to pull people into this before I make a nickel or a dime? I don't have two nickels to rub together and I'm going to teach somebody else how to do it. That makes no sense. So you have that. Then they always use when you go to these meetings, they always have like the cool sayings. So it'll be like financial freedom. That's a big one they throw around. Like, these are great opportunities. JOB. You know, I don't even know JOB. You know what a job is? Just over broke. Yeah, that's incredible. Just over broke. You know, so it becomes one of those situations. And I wanted to touch on also, if you go to, like, just speaking about the viability of this business, if you go to the FTC's website, and the Federal Trade Commission, who is there to make sure that the consumers are protected, they have on their website, they talk about multi-level marketing businesses or network marketing businesses. And this is one of the things that they pulled up. According to the FTC website, the multi-level marketing profit loss versus various income options. Wage earners. Now, wage earners, you get 100%. Now, basically, if you're a wage earner, that means like if you work at McDonald's, they don't, I don't have to buy 6 Big Macs in order for me to work at McDonald's. I don't have to go there and promise to buy 4 milkshakes, every day in order for me to get a paycheck from McDonald's. I could work at McDonald's as long as I do my 4 to 8 hours or whatever it is, 6 to 8 hours, whatever it is, I'm going to get paid for the time that I'm there. That's 100% earned income, right? That doesn't exist with multi-level marketing businesses. Then you have like the legitimate sales. Now, legitimate sales is at 80%. So this is how much you can expect. 80% would be how much you could expect, how many people, 80% of the people who get involved will make money. They make, of the money that they put in, the investment they put in, they get 80% of it back. So if you look at it from the respect of, or 80% is successful. If you look at it from the respect of salesman or marketing, salesperson would be like somebody who sells cars, or like at one point I sold the hand knotted rugs and that kind of thing. No, I haven't heard from Eve. Well, welcome, Suzanne. Hope you're having a good time. Sometimes it can be a little rough. But so you have 80% will make money doing that. 80%. Then if you go to small businesses, 39% of those are successful. 39%. Now, small businesses, those are hard to start. Those are hard to keep going. The small business could be something like a pizza shop. You open up a small business, a pizza or a hamburger shop. Those are small, easy businesses to start. Truth of the matter is, you're competing with Pizza Hut, Domino's. You're competing with McDonald's, Burger King. So it could be a little harder to maintain or harder to stay open, especially when big things happen, like the panorama that happened with the 1-9. That shut everything down. Like a lot of businesses, a lot of restaurants closed their doors because of they didn't have the capital to stay open. Those big event capitals, they just didn't have the money to be able to do that. Then if you look at pyramid schemes, 10%. So the pyramid scheme is the one that I was talking about earlier. No products. They're legal as hell. You have 10% of a chance to make money doing a pyramid scheme. 10%. That's pretty good, actually. Right? Especially compared to gambling at 2.9%. So if you went down and you gambled poker, blackjack, roulette, craps. Come on, Daddy need a new pair of shoes. Cody need a hairpiece. Bow. Right? If you take gambling, you have a 2.9% chance of making money. The FTC says this. This is their study. Then when it comes to multi-level marketing businesses, you have a 0.04% chance of making money, which means 99.6% of people will lose money. 99.6% of people will lose money doing this. That is insane. It's insane. Now, when you show up to the meetings, nobody is telling you that, hey, you know what, 99.6 of y'all ain't gonna never see a nickel doing this. Only 0.04% of people who do this or participate in this are actually gonna make money. You know who those people are? The people at the top of the pyramid. The celebrity sponsors, Janelle, Christine, Mary, Robin, Cody. In some cases, let's keep it all the way a buck. They're not the only ones. Money Mayweather, the boxer, he was doing it. Kevin Hart, he was working with Vima for a little while. David Beckham, the soccer player, he was working with him. Like, the list goes on and on and on. Les Brown, fantastic speaker. That's the guy I was talking about or referred to last week, who is a Toastmaster. Les Brown was involved. He had married Gladys Knight, was married to Gladys Knight for a little bit. And you have these other people. There's another guy named Eric who do the trainings. Those are the other people that make a ton of money. These are the people that when they have the conventions, or like if you would have gotten on this boat with Janelle, I'm sure they would have had like the big convention where they have the big celebration and you too can make a lot of money and it's awesome to be here. We're incredible because we're doing all this stuff and it's amazing. You could be a part of us too. And they have the training to get you all hyped up, and they never talk to you about how to make the business work. How do I sell this stuff? Can I open up a business storefront? Can I open up a Plexus store with my money? Brick and mortar store where I go down to my hometown and I open up the store. No. Another problem that you have Even talking about McDonald's. Oh, McDonald's has franchising. Well, let me ask you this. Has McDonald's ever opened up a McDonald's on one side of the street and open up another McDonald's across the street? No. McDonald's will spread you out. When you have network marketing, all your customers and all your friends are basically in the same place. So you and your friends pretty much share the same friends for the most part. You and your coworkers, you and your family share a lot of the same folks that you would have access to. So how can you grow your business if you're sharing your business with people who business and business opportunity and ideas with people who are going to be your competitors? How is your business going to be successful? That's a problem. So it's not like, even when you look at it, it's not really about how can you sell these products. It's about how you can bring people in. And that's what makes it a pyramid, closer to a pyramid scheme. Hey, it's not that serious. How you doing? So we have that going on. But then there was also something that I wanted to show you guys. And this was actually kind of messed up because, like I said, a lot of these do the approaches to multi-level marketing businesses. They approach it in a way where, okay, if you just bring people in, and who doesn't want to share it with their family and their friends? But if you recruit just 6 people, this is where you'll find yourself at. The MLM, multi-level marketer, network marketing, growth expectations. On the first level, if you recruit 6 people, right? 6 people in that first level, 6 new recruits. The second level, the people under them, your 6 people recruit 6 people apiece. That's 36 new recruits by the second level. Third level, the people who are under them, they'll recruit 216 new recruits. By the time you get to the 12th level of, you got your 6, that 6 gets 6, that 6 gets 6, and by the time you get to the 12th level, you have 2.1 billion new recruits in your organization. That's 12 generations. You have 2.1 billion new recruits. Now, they will need, this is what I wrote here, they will need 13 billion new recruits to make a profit. So the recruits that you have by the 13th row, they will need to have 13 billion new recruits to make a profit. The problem that you have is that the world population as it stands today is only 8 billion people on the planet, surface of the planet right now. That's including women, children, babies, everything. Old folks. 8 billion people, and all of them would have to be willing to participate in your business in order for you to make money and for the people underneath you to make money. And this is why this doesn't work. They would all have to be willing to subscribe to your form of bullshit. So the plexus, all of them have to be willing to lose weight and drink these milkshakes or whatever the case may be. And it just doesn't work. It's not a functional thing. Cat Bluefield said, this is why we learn math, people. Yeah, right. Math is your friend. Math can save your life one day. It certainly can save you a lot of money. And that's the whole point. Like, if you look at it, like, it's such a, like, and I hate to be that guy to just break it down that way. But let me just make sure I got everything. Yeah, but I hate to be the guy to just break it down that way. But the truth of the matter is that these businesses are designed to screw you over. And the biggest problem that I have with a lot of this, and hold on before I get into that, this next leg of it. Woman on thin ice. James, did the venture capitalists know that Cody was scamming them? 2 of the venture capitalists were part of the multi-level marketing business with Cody. So I'm sure that that's how they presented it to them. Like, we could start our own multi-level marketing company, and if you guys can get us $2 million for us to be able to do the, because if you recall, they were talking about the incentive structure or the marketing plan for Sister Wife's Closet. Again, if you have marketing is designed to let customers know that a product or service is available, right? Or if there's a sale or what's going on, information about a product or service. Now, my question is, and this is all just me, my pontification. My question is this. Well, not about them being in the business together, because they said that on the episode. I know Cody came out and said, these are people that we know from the business that we're in. So they know that the only business that Cody and the family were in was multi-level marketing business. But with that being said, you know that when they show up and say, we can have this business start out and we just need money for marketing, people who are going to purchase sister wife jewelry already know that the sister wives have jewelry. They don't need a marketing plan. The marketing plan is the show. If you notice, I saw more green drinks in sister wives' hands and on the tables. Those green drinks are that Vitalife or whatever the hell Cody was, that one marketing MLM that they were involved in. They sold the green drinks. That one product, they did more advertising than they did for their other business, Sister Wives Closet. Because Cody wasn't walking around with that bracelet. The only time I saw Cody wearing that sister wife bracelet with the tree on it was when they did the presentation. Other than that, he wasn't wearing that stuff. So, ironically, they did more advertisement for the other multi-level marketing business than they did for their own. With regard to the people that they were presented to, if they're part of this multi-level marketing business with Cody, it's not that hard of a sell for them to say, guys, we could be the people on top doing the presentations on the stage, making all the money, making millions, live international. Thank you, Alicia. That's it, exactly. Live international. They could have been those people. And that's the way they presented it. That's where they were talking about all we need to do is get 1% of the people who come to our website to sign up and become brand ambassadors, and we could make that money. That's what they were talking about. Allegedly. That's my opinion. Because they never came out and said it directly. But I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. So, that's that. But when we talk about this, so yeah, I hate pink, so I'm not going to drink it. Okay, let's see. But Beanhead, my question is, my sister wife's closet, did they have enough product and different levels of jewelry to sell an MLM plan? Otherwise, you cannot make a living selling one item a month. No, you can't. And that was also part of it too. And I think that was the part of it where, that's a great question, Butterbean Head. Butterbean Head. I love that name. That was a great point. That I think that was also part of the way that they were going to extract that money, allegedly, or my opinion. The way they were going to extract the money was, Robin was going to say that I'm using this money to develop new products, and I need to be paid in order to develop these new products so that we can roll them out, so that we have the inventory to be able to release as a multi-level marketing business. So she was going to take a good portion of that $2 million as like incentive pay, royalty pay, and bonus pay for developing these new products. And when those products don't sell, then it is what it is. And the truth be told, when you look at most of these products and most of the people who sign up to become independent business owners or brand ambassadors or whatever the case may be, they wind up with garages full of like junk that they can't sell. Whether it's lotions, face powders, energy drinks, or whatever the case may be, they just have junk on top of junk that they can't get rid of. And a lot of this stuff, even to Alicia's point, that's what I was saying. They're way too greedy with that ridiculously high price point. Excuse me. They are way too greedy with that ridiculously high price point from My Sister Wife's Closet. And that's exactly right. They were being greedy. But the truth of the matter is if you look at most of these multi-level marketing businesses, the price points don't match. Because they will make the comparison between like, oh, have you ever seen Nike? And they sell this stuff for like $80 or $300 a shoe, and we have shoes too. Yeah, but your shoes aren't Nike. Yeah, you look at our energy drinks, they sell Red Bull for $2.39, but we sell our energy drinks for $2. Yeah, but their Red Bull is brand recognition. So why am I paying? Why would they pay anything close to what we would pay for why would I pay the same money for an off-brand product that I'm going to pay for a name brand product? It just doesn't make sense. Like, it just makes bad business sense. And why do I have to buy a bunch of... If this stuff is selling, why are you forcing me to buy it? And then when they come out, like I saw a thing with, I think it was McKelty. She came out and said, oh, we have this one product and it's sold out right now. It's sold out. Why? Why is it sold out? It's sold out because, not because there's such a high demand from the customers wanting and demanding this product. It's sold out because you demand that your independent business owners purchase the products. So they bought this new product out, so now all of a sudden the product is sold out. It's not selling out because there's such a high demand for it. It's sold out because it's sitting in somebody's basement or in a garage. And that's also one of the problems is that, you know, in a lot of cases, these folks are not independent business owners as much as they're just confused customers. You're not a business owner, you're a customer. You're just a customer who has the ability to sell other customers the product. But you're still a customer. And anytime they can come in and make fundamental business decisions for you, they can, like the company that you work for or work with, supposedly, can come in and make demands on how much inventory you should have. That's not how businesses work. Like, it's just insane. Edging out going true, but My Sister Wife's Closet immediately made me think that they were going to sell clothes. Yeah, you would think. Sold out via extortion. Yeah, they extort the hell out of them. If you want to make this money, you got to have product. And if you don't have product, then you can't make this money. But I'm not making any money. Well, I mean, we'll get into that in a moment. Wow. Living every minute says, explain to me how heavy people are able to sell plexus. Nothing against heavy people. I was one in the past. Hopes and dreams. That's what you're selling. Because when you look at it, that's one of the things that I wanted to touch on too. When you talk about them selling these products, it's not about the product. The product is just simply there. The product is just simply there to make people think that there is a way that you could make money that doesn't involve the pyramid scheme. Like, because if you have a product and you're selling a product, then technically it's not a pyramid scheme. But in order for that to work, like in some states, like the state I'm in, you have to sell 80% of your income has to be generated from actual sales. It can't be 20% can come from like your downline or whatever the case may be, but 80% of your money has to come from sales. So if you have, like, if you get your paycheck from the company and you go through and you do the simple math of how much of my check is actually coming from sales versus how much is coming from my downline. If your numbers come back wrong, you could be in trouble. Ironically, if you read your manual that you get from the company, If those numbers come back wrong, the company will claim no wrongdoing. They will relieve you of your downline. They will take your people from you. They will close your business down, and they'll close your business, basically. They'll shut your business down. And then you have to deal with the consequences of running a pyramid scheme on your own, because they'll take their hands off you and say, I never told them to run a pyramid scheme, even though at every meeting I tell them to run a pyramid scheme. That's just how it works. Cat Bloomfield, I want to point out that MLMs also violate labor laws since they are treating independent contractors like employees, making demands on time and technique. Stay woke. $10 super chat. That's true. That's true. There's all kinds of problems with it. And the truth of the matter is that they talk all the time about like business and being business savvy and this, that, and other. Truth of the matter is that even with most of these multi-level marketing businesses, you would do better. You would make more money if you, instead of them doing the comparisons of McDonald's, if you actually worked at McDonald's and you spent the time that you would work on this business or whatever, this business plan, and going to meetings and trainings and having people over at your house and you going over other people's house and going to these events, you would actually make more money flipping burgers than you would working at one of these places. So it's ironic that they use McDonald's as a example, because you would make more money at McDonald's than you would working for them. They're just selling you the hopes and the dreams and the promises. So there's always that. And then the crazy part about it is, if you look at the people that they recruit, you know, and this is where I have the biggest issue and the biggest problem. They target people who are vulnerable to their brand of bullshit. And when we talk about like the pyramid, we look at the pyramid scheme. The problem is that it's not, multi-level marketing businesses are worse than pyramid schemes. Not just by the numbers as presented by the thing that I pointed out, where they're worse because you 99.6% lose money. It only has a 0.04% success rate, whereas pyramid schemes have a 10% success rate. Right? Not just talk about that, but if you look at the damage that's wrought by actual multi-level marketing businesses, it's horrible. It's horrible because you have multi-level marketing businesses tend to target certain groups. So, for instance, Plexus, when they try to target people in Utah, they target the Mormons. Somebody wrote something clever in Reddit. I can't give the person credit because I can't remember their name, but it basically said MLM in Utah stands for Mormons losing money. Right? Because that's how they target them. They target them and they talk to their small group, and they talk to their people the way that they need to talk to them. And because they know who they're talking to. If you're going to target African Americans, you're going to target Asians, you're going to target Indians, you're going to target certain people from certain regions, certain church groups, certain religions, faiths. You understand that you can talk to those people, especially if they're in a small group and they're in a desperate group. If they find themselves in a desperate financial situation, that's when these MLMs take off. If there's a downturn in the economy, if we hit a recession, then all of a sudden these guys are sitting there like vultures waiting for people to start dropping like flies, because they know that their people are going to be more susceptible to the stuff that they try to present them to get them to come into the business. They know that. When you're dealing with people in, like, specifically, if we're talking about the Mormon group, you're talking about a small, tight-knit community that doesn't trust people on the outside. Those people are all going to try to take us. They all taking our kids. They trying to lock our men up because they ain't going to get married. So we can't trust anybody. It's just us. And then you have somebody come to them and say, I have the secret to success. I have the secret that these people who are your enemies, who are my enemies, who have been mistreating you, they've been keeping this information from you, and I know the secrets, and I'm going to share the secrets with you. If you come to this meeting, I'm going to tell you how you can make money and provide for your family like they do. And what does that do? That puts you in a situation where you're looking at these people like, oh, they're the enemy. They're trying to keep this information away from me and mine, so I can't take care of my family. Screw them. And then that puts me in a mindset that because I'm learning these secrets and I'm learning stuff that nobody ever told me, and they tell you a little bit of truth with the whole pound of bullshit that they feed you, that you sitting there, you eating it up. And then when you get involved, you're putting yourself in a position where you have people who you're around and people that you surround yourself with are all taking a position that if you turn your back or you start to ask questions as to whether this is a viable business thing or whether this is a good idea, now all of a sudden you're their enemy. You're not only the enemy of the people who are out there trying to hurt you and your people and your family, but you're the enemy of your people. Because you have this group of people from Plexus who are trying to tell you how to provide for you and your family, how to make your community better and richer and stronger. And here you are doubting what they have to say. You're telling your friends and your family this might not be a good idea. So now you're a hater. Now you're trying to keep them from joining something that's going to make their life so much better. And that's how they turn the community amongst the internal community against one another. It's not just the cult mindset that's already been embedded into them because of the groups and the organizations and the religious sect that they belong to, but it's also they take that and they supercharge it by infusing the desire to be able to be successful and have things for themselves. The secrets that's being kept from them. The fact that they're outsiders. And they feel like outsiders. They feel like they're being victimized. And here this one person is who's trying to tell you that you can't be successful. Now they're going to further victimize you. And that's how they get you involved. And that's how they keep looping you around. And when they do that, they keep pulling you back in. And they keep pulling you into a scenario or a situation where you're not ready to hear the truth about these organizations. And what bothers me is that a lot of us, when we try to talk, especially depending on how deep the people get into it, right? If you get them like maybe the first meeting or two meetings, you have a chance of pulling them out. But if somebody's been involved with this multi-level marketing business for like 6 months, it's hard to get them out because they've had 6 months of indoctrination. What's one of the first things they tell you to do? Kind of like what they tell you to do in the sister wife stuff or the polygamous stuff. They tell you to stop surrounding yourself with people who doubt or don't believe in the things you believe in. Don't hang out with people because those naysayers are going to keep you from reaching your true potential. They're going to strike you down and you're going to be in trouble. So don't hang out with those folks. Hang out with us. Hang out with like-minded people who are going to encourage you and give you the training to succeed and give you the encouragement you need so that you can stay with the business, because the biggest problem that you have in this business is that people quit right before they make it. And you'll have a guy, you go to the training and there'll be a guy on stage who'll tell you that, yeah, I was ready to quit, but then I stuck with it and I was ready to give up and everybody was telling me I was a fool, and then all of a sudden I made all this money and now I'm stupid rich. And that's why you got to do it too. And no matter how much these people are losing, they're doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on the original investment because nobody wants to be a fool. Nobody wants to be wrong. So they'll keep investing and they'll keep going back and this has to work. After a while, it'll just be a thing where I don't want it to work. It has to work. Because otherwise, I've been fooled, and I'm a fool because I've spent X amount of time, X amount of dollars. I've lost friends and family because every time they invited me over to a birthday party, a holiday, a graduation, I started talking about the business opportunities that just weren't there. So this has to be real, and you're combating that. So it's crazy problematic. Emma with the $9.99 super chat. I hate the name My Sister Wife's Closet. Reminds me of the squabble you have with your sister to stay the hell out of your stuff. Maybe Robin was low-key trying to tell the OG3 she was out to take their shit without asking. Yeah, right. Stay up out of my stuff. That includes Cody. That's awesome. Yeah, but and then somebody else had that. Let me see. Sonia Reyes said, low key, a cult within a cult. Exactly. And if you've ever seen, like, I've watched, years ago when my buddy was trying to get me in and I was getting ready to have the conversation with him and his upline or whatever. And I invited him over to try to give him the book and all that. I was watching reports. Dateline, I think, had a report on, I think it was Quickstar. And they had like the big convention or whatever that the people went to, and everybody was there like crying and shit. Oh, I love it! It's amazing! It's so incredible! And the people they were like, this was like a 4-day training and da da da. But when you look at it, the people in the audience are crying because they feel like failures, and that's the part of it to me that makes the idea of this so much worse. Because when you don't do well for the multi-level marketing businesses, nobody ever looks at it, especially the upline people. They don't look at it and say, yeah, it didn't work out because the shit is designed to fail. Everybody fails at this. Nobody is making it out of here. 0.04% of the people will be successful when they join this. Because they're at the top of and usually those people are at the top of the pyramid. Everybody else gets screwed. They don't say that. You know what they say? They say, you haven't come to enough meetings. You didn't do the trainings. You weren't working hard enough. You weren't following the program. If you did the things you needed to do, you were given all the tools you needed to succeed. And you didn't take and utilize those tools properly. You didn't utilize them to their fullest extent or their fullest capacity or whatever the case may be. And your failure is your own. Because we give you everything that you need. And they make people feel bad about not winning something that is never going to happen for them to win. And that's the crazy part of it. And that's the part that hurts the most when you really step back and look at it. Because like even the involvement of it, like it's hard for me to give passes to folks who have suffered under polygamy and patriarchy, and they've been mistreated and things have happened to them. It's hard for me to give them a pass when you're actively participating in the pain of somebody else. Because a lot of the people who get involved with these multi-level marketing businesses, especially under the name of like Janelle, like they see her or Christine and wow, Christine has like $1 million house and she's in charge of an Airbnb now, and she's spending her time on that. And Mary has an Airbnb, and she's spending time on that. She has a rental that she's renting out, plus she's making a ton of money on the MLM. And I could do it too. But you're not going to be able to do it because that's not where their money came from. And it's sad because you're giving false hope to people, and you're hurting people. Like that hurts them. And when these folks are looking at trying to get out of their bad situation, they can't do it. They can't get out. Let's see. Mama Cat, remember when Maddie tweeted something about Mary and LuLaRoe? She claimed that Mary was verbally abused, and didn't like how the pressure she pressured her downtime. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of these, Ben, Cody's nephew, talked about child labor and being forced to do child labor. It's like basically child slave labor for his family in order to make things move forward. Like you see a lot of that, especially in Children of the Cult, where they talked about like how they had an appliance repair store and they used to work them kids 12 to 16 hours a day, especially during the summer, so that they could try to sell old and used appliances, clean appliances up, sell them or whatever. And they have no problem working kids. They have no problem working kids because it's for the betterment of the family, And of course, like I said, these folks are in a better situation because if you look at the dynamics that Mary and Christine and the Brown family was in, they could look at it and they would have quite the story to tell during the course of the meeting. They could walk into the meeting and say, When we started out, we lived in Lehigh, which is where Live International is from. It's in Lehigh, actually. We lived in Lehigh. Because of we were being targeted by the state and the government, we ran out of Lehigh in the dead of night. And this is something they said during the show, and I'm sure they said it during their meetings. We ran out of Lehigh in the dead of night. We went to Las Vegas. And once we were in Las Vegas, we were basically homeless. And because of our ties to the MLM, we were able to get rental properties. And then within a year or two of working in this MLM and working every day and following the plan and talking to people and meeting with our upline, we were able to have houses built. And we basically had our own street. Now, for the average person, like, wow, I don't want to build a whole neighborhood. I just want to build a house. I just want to have a safe place for me and my kids to go. So that's a huge selling point. That you get to roll them into these big brand new homes and say, yeah, this is because of the TV show. We only make a little bit of money because of the TV show. We make all this because of the MLM we're a part of. And the whole time, like I said, you're selling them the dream. You're not selling them the realities of what it takes for you to run an actual business. Cody sit there, like, a lot of times it's funny to me that they always make the comparison that that's true. They make the comparison that these folks are these folks at these big businesses, we don't like these conventional businesses. We like that, and then they go right behind them and start, creating these business organizations, basically using business titles from these legitimate businesses. Everybody's a CEO, CFO, COO, and then like Cody demonstrated at that therapy session, they have no idea what any of these roles actually do because they don't understand how business works. Tiffany H. Appliance store was the LeBaron Group. The bakery and farm was AUB with Benjamin. Yeah, right. Did I make that unclear? Yeah, the LeBarons were the one that did it. That's Daughters of the Cult people. Their special is on Hulu. And Cody's nephew was with the AUB. But the LeBarons actually are the ones who killed Christine's grandfather because they wanted to take over their little polygamous sect. So it's unfortunate that they tried to say that they were mad or people were focused on Warren Jeffs when they were scared of polygamists coming into town. No, they were thinking of the LeBarons, I think. Alicia, thanks, my take OG3, and Lizzie B, Rochelle J, and Sarcasm for Fun 199 super chat. Thank you so much, Alicia. Let's see, farm families, non-Mormon back in the day had children to work on a farm, taking the girls out of school, not letting them eat till work is done. Yeah. I mean, it'd be rough on the kids. It was rough on children. Oh, wow. Let's see. Also, Ben said that when you're a kid, you do want to help and try to save, or try to have fun in a work situation. So that could be a health and safety violation all over the place. Example, bread slices. Yeah, he said he cut the shit out of his finger when he was doing that. Keith Bluefield. They don't understand the business. And that's the thing, is that there is a point where you can see that they didn't have a fundamental understanding of how business works. But even with that being said, with all the training and all the conventions and the meetings and stuff that they had, you would think that, with the the complaints they do about normal business, that they would have a better understanding of how business works. With the comparisons they do of normal business, you would think that they have a better understanding of how business works. But you look at like Cody and them with the COO stuff and the CFO and they don't understand how the business works. Part of the problem that I have with a lot of the MLMs is that they don't really understand how business works, and they don't have meetings. In the meetings, they don't talk about the businesses like they should. They talk about them in a very weird way. So you show up to a business meeting, supposedly a business meeting where they're talking about these opportunities. Oh, don't worry about it. Take for car. We talk about these business meetings, these opportunities. I showed up to a bunch of these things. Not a bunch, but I showed up to, I guess, 3 or 4, maybe. And when I go, I'll listen to the people. And never, not once, have I ever walked in there and they start off with, this is what we're selling, this is how we do it, this is how the business works, etc., etc. This is how you make money. It always starts off with, I have a family, and I like spending time with my family. I make enough money now where I can spend time with my family. I'm financially free. I have more money than I know what to do with. I have money all over the place. Money's just falling all out, It's just incredible to me that's what the way that they approach it. Because nobody gives a shit. Like if you went to an actual business meeting, like a Fortune 500 business meeting, they don't walk in there and start talking about what car they came in. They could have flew in on a helicopter. Right? They could have flew in, landed on campus with a helicopter, or landed on top of the building with a helicopter, came down to the meeting. They're not going to talk about, I have the nicest helicopter ever. You should have saw the Maybach I rode into the Clearport with. Because, I fly private. So, they don't care. They want to hear how is what you're doing going to make me money? How is this going to work for me? Is this something that I can is this something I'm interested in? Is this something I can participate in? Is this something that's going to benefit me? And in how and what way and how can I implement it? They don't want to hear about how well you're doing, because how well you're doing has nothing to do with me. It's not my business how well you're doing, or how bad you're doing is not my business. So it's just a weird way to approach it. Even when they started sitting there talking about, like during the course of the presentation to the venture capitalists, investors, when they were sitting there talking about how, they know us, they like us because we're going to make this amount of money because they're so invested in our, they don't give a shit. Like these venture capitalists want to hear about, they care about X's and O's. They care about ones and zeros. They care about how much money am I making? How much money do you want from me? And how much money on top of the money that I give you and I'm going to get back, am I going to get back in return? So when I give you $1 million or $2 million, I want to hear how much money I'm going to get back for my $2 million. That's it. They don't want to hear nothing about how you designed your jewelry and how it means so much to you and how your friends and family love it. Don't care about that. Mama Cat says, it's the hey friend, I want to talk with you about my business. I got hit with this from a friend and her husband. I thought we were having a dinner, not a business presentation. Yeah, they hit you hard, boy. And then all of a sudden it becomes weird. And even with Mama Cat, like what she said, it becomes weird when you go over and you're not interested in a business, because then it becomes a question of whether you can be friends anymore. Because they'll be told that they can't hang out with people who aren't about the business and aren't going to encourage them to continue with the business. So, and they're so hyped on it, and now it can create a weird dynamic where every time you have a conversation with them, every time you see them or you meet them, Like, you got to hear about how you should join and how it's so important and how all you letting all this money and opportunity go and how come you don't want to do it. And it's not even so much that you're rejecting the business, but now you're rejecting them. And it just becomes hard, like a hard, conversation to have. Savannah G, I don't understand how so many people get sucked into MLMs. Like, there is so much showing how they're not beneficial to the individual. I think that, in fairness, Savannah G, that's a good point. I think that if you're thinking logically about it, I think it's very difficult to see how people get involved with it. The problem is that the multi-level marketing or network marketing businesses tend to hit you emotionally. They tend to hit you where you live emotionally. So when you talk about why do people sit there? If you're struggling financially or you're looking for a way to get out of a desperate situation and you have somebody there willing to provide you with an easy answer, then it's a lot easier to see how people could fall for it. Because it's a very emotional thing. Like, especially when people get tied into it, they start to feel like, I have to be in this because this is my only chance. This is my shot. And then again, they give you that expectation that if I don't participate in this, then I'm not going to do well. I'm not going to have that money. I'm not going to be able to provide for my kids. This is my one shot to be able to do that. And they hit you in an emotional way because part of the challenge that you would have, I'm sorry if I'm kind of clouded a little bit. Part of the challenge that you would have in talking your friends and family out of the clutches of these cults now, the clutches of these multi-level marketing businesses, is that you'll approach them from a logical perspective. How many people make money? Of the people that you work with, like of your upline, how many of them are like stupid rich? And I'm not talking about the guy who is like a diamond who apparently wants to come down every week to talk to you. I'm talking about like the guy who is like one level, two levels above you. How is he a multimillionaire? And he's supposed to be teaching you how to do it, and he's not yet a millionaire or on his way to becoming a billionaire? Does that make sense? And of course, no, you don't understand. Because the logic of it won't work. Because they didn't make a logical decision to get into it. They made an emotional decision to get into it. And so therefore, it's harder to combat their emotional needs. Most of these guys will tell them whatever they need to hear to keep them coming to the meetings. If you say to them, I'm a musician and one day I want to sell records or whatever, they're going to tell you that the best way for you to do that is for you to get money doing this multi-level marketing business, get that off the ground. That way you have residual income. That's another thing that they used to say all the time. You had a residual income where you just sitting back making money out of nowhere that takes care of you and your family. Wouldn't that be great? And then you could do whatever you want to do because you have financial freedom. And then you'll sit there and you'll go back and forth with that. And that's how they screw you. Tiffany H. Do you OG3 wives are limited by show from being able to do legit sponsorships commercial? Do you think they will be able to do more after the show? The show would limit them possibly from doing other sponsorships because they would have to be able to tie back into, and this is why I say that I think TLC owns a lot more of the intellectual property of Sister Wives than they let on, because they can't do a lot of the traditional sponsorships because a lot of that would have to flow through TLC, the TLC warehouse. But even with that being said, I think that there is a point where if, and I appreciate the super chat, but I don't want to be too crass and I don't want to be too cruel or unfair. I understand why they're doing what they're doing. I understand why they're making the decisions they make. I would just ask the one question of integrity. And the question is this. If you could make $100 million. Would you do it? Most people are, hell yeah, I'd do it. Where do I sign up? Right? But I say, okay, all you have to do is sell this product that is going to hurt kids. It's going to hurt them. Like, it's and not just physically or emotionally. It's going to hurt them physically. Like, it's going to damage them. Right? Would you do it? You'll be able to take care of your family, be able to go on all kinds of nice vacations, buy big houses, do everything you want to do, but you're going to hurt some people. People are going to be hurt bad. Would you do it? And you could make the argument that, depending on how they grew up and how they suffered and how much they went through, they should be able to experience some happiness. But does that make it right? And that's kind of the point of where I struggle a little bit with the OG3's predicament, because I get it. Like, they're making good money doing the show. Their time on the show will end, and then maybe they can get bumped into like brand ambassadors and all that stuff for the companies, and they're setting themselves up for the multi-level marketing business. But you have to recognize that these businesses are hurting people. Like, when you look around at your downline, these people are not paying their bills. Like, maybe the people in your immediate circle, because they're using you as a way to make this money, maybe they're making money. But if you go down 3 or 4 levels of your downline, these people are not making ends meet. They're not, like Janelle said, they barely making enough money, I suspect, that they can pay a bill. And you have to recognize that. And of course they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing. They're meeting people and they're inviting them out to join this organization. But what are they inviting them to join? Like, are you selling enough product? When you look at your stuff, are you selling enough product? And this is where I would ask them. Are you selling enough product where 80 to 90% of your money isn't coming from the people that you have down below you, but it's coming from actual sales? Are you selling 80% of your money? Is it coming from you selling product? Or is it coming from the people that you have signed up to you? And if the answer is most of your money comes from, even if half your money comes from people who are signed up to you, then you're hurting people. Emily, hi all, is Worthy Up supposed to be an MLM? Huh. I don't know. Because I know Worthy Up was something that Mary had started. Was this Mama Cat? Mary follows Tony Robbins and all his motivational stuff. I believe Worthy Up is her attempt to rebrand herself. Yeah. I think that's about right. Say, Kathy Ferran said, no, James, not worth it. Tiffany H, thank you. That is a great view. Love your take. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. It's me, Grammy. What's up, Grammy? Unfortunately, the person Mary is following for the Worthy Up is more fluff than substance. Once again, Mary is being duped. It's so sad because she has no street sense. Sometimes that works now. I mean, you grow up in those communities, like, you don't have a lot of, reference like that. Yeah, I think that's right. I think Worthy Up is Mary's new self-help brand. where she's trying to overcome. And between all of them, I think Mary is trying to capitalize off of the departure of Cody from Cody, and she's also trying to capitalize off of the most recent popularity of the Sister Wives, and trying to somebody mentioned earlier, trying to rebrand herself as kind of a thought leader in making sure that she has independence and strength as a lady. And so it's you're worthy, no matter what you went through, no matter how much you suffered, no matter what you're going through, you're worthy, which is a good message in and of itself. But it just becomes problematic if those words aren't landing with strength and power, because it just doesn't seem true. Ooh, worthy up is self-help that Mary is doing under the guise of a woman who is well known to be unethical. That's rough. Yeah, because it's something that's kind of serious, and I'm a little tired tonight. I'm sorry, guys, but it's something that I think is a little serious. Let me say, it's not that serious. Okay, listen, it's not that serious. No, I think that Worthy Up with Mary starting a community to bring people together to support people in their struggles, but not sure how that will be. Seems expensive. Mm. It's me, Grammy James is stuck. Yeah, I'm not necessarily stuck. It's just that, like, I think that as we talk about like Worthy Up, or even the MLMs and their involvement with these things, or Sister Wives as they try to present them, part of the issue that I have is that early on, especially, they would always say things like, I'm a strong, independent woman. And that would be like the big mantra. And it actually gets so bad, especially on reality shows, that anytime I watch a reality show and somebody says, I'm a strong, independent, blah, 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 I'm like, oh shit, weak as hell. And totally dependent. You know what I mean? It's the exact opposite of whatever they said they were trying to do. And so, like, with watching Mary and these ladies throughout the years, part of the problem that I have, even with the MLM stuff, like, I get it. Like, I would like to think that these ladies are bossing up. I would like to think that they're doing well financially, especially after they got themselves out of a bad situation. But I just hate to think that they're doing well on somebody else's back. And somebody else's suffering is paving the way to their prosperity. Like, I have an issue with that. Like, it's just like I said before, not all money is good money. Just because you have it and you're able to achieve it, when you get involved with part of the desensitization. I'm struggling around that word, but part of when you are separating yourself from this business, you start to separate yourself, or you join these businesses, you start to separate yourself from yourself. You start to become desensitized towards a lot of the things that should bother you and probably would have bothered you before, because you learn that relationships are strictly transactional. Even when I listen to both, not just Cody, but the Sister Wives in general, talking about their expectations for My Sister Wife's Closet, and why people aren't buying their stuff, and people need to start buying their stuff because they got bills to pay. There was an expectation that I was a little disappointed in how they viewed their fan base, how they viewed their customers, how they viewed the people who liked them. If you see everybody around you as an opportunity, then it decreases your ability to be able to have and maintain proper relationships with these other people. So when I listen to Mary and do that, especially in context of these multi-level marketing businesses, that's kind of where I struggle a little bit with what they're doing. Because they'll sit there and say, like, I'm doing this because I'm a strong, independent woman and I'm a business owner and I'm a boss. Yeah, but the reason why you're a business owner, you're a boss, and you're strong and you're independent is because you're experiencing wealth, because the people who like you are giving you the opportunity to experience these things, and you're telling them that they too can experience it, but they're in no position to experience it for real. And it's never going to happen for them. You know. This is true, Audrey. I'm very close. Very, very close. 300 more subs and I'll be at 30K. You guys can make it true. It could happen to you. Just hit that sub button. Let's see. I remember Mary studying or wanting to study social work, but Robin talked her out of it and made her feel selfish because even though Leon was older, they still had little kids at home. Well, yes and no. Because I agree with that perspective, but I'll give it a little bit of a twist. And this was something that I said last week, that I think that Mary was excited about going to study social work, finish college, because that was something she was going to do for her. But Mary pursuing something for her would stand in the way of Robin being able to get the things that she wanted. Because Robin thought that the Sister Wife's Closet business was about to take off. She wanted to maintain control of the purse strings of Sister Wife's Closet, but she needed somebody else to run it. And if Mary left, who is she going to get to run Sister Wife's Closet? So Mary needed to stay her ass right where she was. And that's what I think Robin went about the business of doing. You know? So I agree. Like, I think that when she was trying to do that, she was trying to find a way to help. And that's what I'm saying, talking about with the dichotomy of difference between the dichotomy of Mary pursuing social work because it's something that she wants to give back and give to people in need. But then at the same time, you have the multi-level market Mary, who's like, I'm a cutthroat businesswoman who trying to do everything she needs to do in order to get ahead. Like, Oh, thank you so much, Lord B. I love James, his content, the community, because you guys are awesome. He's created so many reasons to like and subscribe. I agree. Why are you not subscribed, people? Laura B. I think you could do a video on the dictionary and he could still make it fun and educational. We shall see. No, just thanks so much. I appreciate that. So Mary is always showing her clothes and selling them. She has a website, not sure how many sell under her, so can't say anything. Mary's a trainer. Mary was a trainer for that company. And that's what I mean. Like, look, I mean, to be honest with you, if I was going to get involved with MLMs, that's where I would go. I would do the trainings. Because that's where the money is. Like, honestly, like, unless you're on top of the thing with a huge downline, like you were there when the business first started, you make a majority of your money. A majority of the money is split really two ways. One, you're on the top of the thing, so you're like a double, triple, platinum, diamond, or whatever the hell it is, right? They usually have precious stones to indicate like how high you are. Double diamond or whatever. They make a good chunk of the money. But then the second group of people who make a majority of the money are the people who do the trainings. The people who distract you. So really, it comes down to bread and circus. And that's how they run the multi-level marketing businesses. It comes down to bread and circus. So you keep the people entertained and distracted away from the fact that they're not making any money. You keep making promises to them. Guys, if you keep following the program, you keep sticking with it, you keep showing up, you keep making the purchases, you keep doing the things you need to do and keep staying involved, because if they stay involved, they're continuing to have to do these purchases each month so that they can stay registered as a business owner. So you're guaranteeing your customers are making repeat purchases within the business. So you're guaranteeing you're guaranteeing a certain bottom line and a certain profitability of your business. Right? And so the job of the trainer, quote unquote trainer, the entertainer and the distractor, is to distract people away from the fact that they're not making money and that they need to keep doing this and they need to sign up. In fact, if you're not succeeding, you need to sign up for more training. You need to take more opportunities. You need to come to more conventions. You need to pay to come to more of these things where we sit together and talk about how rich we are and how you could be amongst us and be like us. I remember there was a guy who tried to get me involved. He gave me a thing. I think I told you guys this before, but if not, I'll tell you now. Story time. There was a guy who tried to get me involved with this stuff. And I'm like, nah, man, this stuff don't work. Where's the business part of it? He's like, man, this guy right here, he'll tell you how to do it. He gave me a bunch of tapes, a bunch of like CDs or whatever. What even tapes? CDs. And I listen to these CDs. I'm like, all right, I'll listen to it. So I'm listening to it, waiting for the guy to say, okay, well, here's how you make money selling these products. Step by step. Nope. That wasn't what the guy said. He stood there and told you that if you wanted to make money doing this, you had to sign up and you had to commit yourself. And there was one guy who said, and I'll never forget it, he said, my kids had a birthday party. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to go to my son's birthday party because what I'm doing is I'm building a business so that so I can have something to pass down to him. So I'm going to miss his birthday party so I can go build this business or do a meeting or do a training so that I can work on this, Avon business or whatever the fuck it was. Oh, pardon my French. Whatever the hell it was. Right? But I'm like, at the end of the day, you missed something that would involve your child so you could, supposedly for your child, but your child ain't going to remember that you went to this meeting or whatever for him. He's going to remember that you didn't show up to his birthday party or his graduation or his baseball game. That's what he's going to remember. So who are you building this empire for? And that really struck me. But it's just the idea that they pass these things off like this is what could make your family better. They're not telling you that you should spend more time with your family. You need to focus on your family. You need to help your family. You need to do what's necessary in order to provide for your family. No. They're telling you ways that you can basically provide for them and their family. There was another guy. Story time. There was another guy. I think it was the same company because I went out after the first company I went to. The first time I went to one. And the guy came to my house. I went out after, because they met at a hotel, like in a hotel area, lobby or whatever. Not lobby, the little meeting area or whatever. That's where they used to have their meetings. So I went in there, listened to the guy talk, and the whole time he didn't talk anything about like business stuff. He just told us how much money he had and how much money he made. Told us little cute stuff. JOB stands for just over broke and all that good shit, right? And I sat there listening to him. All right, this is ridiculous. This is stupid. This is a waste of damn time. This guy, hour in, this guy hasn't said anything about the business. He just running his, like, I don't give a shit what kind of car you drive. I don't care, right? I want to, how does that help me? Because I'm still going to walk out of here and get my car. It's not like you're going to hand me the car keys, right? And I listened to this guy, and he said to the people, make sure you get with the people you brought to the meeting or whatever. And then you guys who are, whatever they were, you meet with your upline, right? And I was walking outside and I heard the guys, the guy who brought me, the guy I knew, and the guys, I guess, on his level were meeting with the people over him, the person over him. And this dude was cussing their asses out. He was cussing them out. You need to bring more people. I don't understand why there's not enough folks here. How many people did you bring to the meeting? You guys want to be successful. This is what you need to do. Why aren't you? I'm like, how? You guys presented this to me like I'm a businessman. I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to be the independent business owner. This shit sounds like a job. Because you don't get, I was working a job. I was like, I don't get yelled at my job. Why would I come here for this and get cussed out? Like, I don't get cussed out at my job and I'm making money. And whether I'm good or bad or I suck at my job, at the end of the week, if I stay there for 40 hours, I get 40 hours worth of money. If I work this shit for 40 hours, I don't get anything unless everybody signs up. Why would I sign up for this? Like, this it made no sense. He laid into them. I quit my job and you guys are messing this up for me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the shit? He's like, I'm trying to retire my wife. Like, this sounds like a you thing. This sounds like a you problem to me. You know what I mean? You try to retire your wife, your people. I respect that. But you don't get to cuss me out because you not meeting your financial burdens and your financial needs. You don't get to cuss me out. What are we doing? I heard that, man. I to be honest with you, it was sad to watch. But at the time, like, I laughed at the time and I went home and I thought about it. It was sad. But I was like, there's no way in the world this dude is just going to sit there and cuss at me like that for not bringing people. Who cares how many people he brought? Because at the end of the day, if this was a business, I shouldn't have to sign people up for the business to work. How many times have you gone to work at your job and your boss said to you, well, I'm not going to give you a paycheck this week unless you can get 3 more people to come in here and work this gig with you? You know what I mean? Like, that's not how business works. Why would I want to bring people in? When you watch these, just giving you like as a heads up, when you watch these YouTube, I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you guys like any motivational stuff or money stuff or whatever, you've probably seen the videos where the people will be like, I'm going to teach you how to drop ship or what was the Amazon thing where I'm going to teach you how to order some products. And you can make a ton of money, if you order these products on Amazon and you have them delivered and you don't have to do anything and you just going to make a ton of money. It's going to be incredible. I'm selling an ebook or all you got to do is sign up for my training or whatever the case may be. What they're doing is they're trying to get your information so that they can sell your information. That's it. Because if they were trying to, the time that you could make money online from Amazon or from Walmart, where you sign up as a sales associate or whatever, I forget what they call it, where basically you sign up with Amazon, you pick a product from Alibaba or somebody, and you put that product out and you put it up, and then Amazon sells it and they basically send you the money or your cut of the money. So they'll store it and they'll send it as needed to wherever, and you just get a cut of the money. That time is closed. That's why you have so many people who are willing to teach you how to do it. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense. If these people could make so much money doing marketing, personal marketing, why are they so interested in you bringing your friends and family to the business to make money? Why are they so pressed about you showing up on the first meeting? The first meeting I went to, the guy said, you should write down 10 names or 6 names or 10 names of friends and family that you can invite to this next meeting. And when you come to the next meeting, bring those people. I was like, I'm not coming back. But secondly, why would I bring people I don't even know how this shit works yet? You haven't told me, like, I've been here, like, especially at that time, I think I was there for like 2 hours. 2.5 hours, something like that. Like, I've been here for 2.5 hours, and I have no idea. When I walked out of there, I was like, I have no idea how to sell this stuff, what we're supposed to be selling, what the business model is, like, what am I supposed to be doing, other than bringing people to this. And that's where I told the guy, I was like, when I had the meeting with him, I said that this is a pyramid scheme, because you guys aren't interested in selling this stuff. Like, how much did you sell last month? And you're supposed to be like a platinum or a sapphire or some old foolishness. How much did you sell? And that's another thing. How come these people in these, when they ask you to sign up for this stuff, nobody ever want to break out the books? If you want to impress me, break out the damn books. Let's go through the books together. Let's see how much money you spent on the training, how much money you put out on product, how much money you put out as far as your time expenditure. Then we'll do a cross check on how much money you brought in, how that money came in, whether it was through training, whether it was through showing up to these things and doing these events, you get a check cut, or your downline, or more importantly, how much money did you make from actually selling stuff? Whether the goods, products, services, whatever the case may be. How much money did you make from actually doing the business or executing the business? In most of these cases, the guys will be like, they didn't make anything executing the business, doing the business. Their money came from the people that they signed up to do the business. And nobody in the business know how to do the business or how the business works. Which actually, ironically, puts you in position that you could have your business taken away, even if you were successful. Technically, if the ironic part is, if Janelle and them, the OG3, were signing up a group of people because they were on a TV show, if the show got canceled and they decided they didn't want to deal with them anymore, they could take their business. They could take their entire downline from them. And there's nothing they could do about it. Especially if they aren't selling a majority of their money. Like I said, if a majority of your money isn't coming from your sales, they will take your business. Christina Stoll, MLMs, when they're recruiting you, it's so easy. You have more money, more time for your family, etc. After you're recruited, this is hard work. Yeah, this is so true. If you're not doing well, you're not working hard enough. This is so fucking true. That's so true. That's the biggest complaint that I heard. When I talk to folks, they always have like the it's so easy. You know 6 people, and if you know, or depending on the group that you join or the business meeting that you go to, it'll range from like 3 people. I've heard as few as 3 people. If you bring in 3 people to like 6 or 10 people, I think it was 6 or 10, something like that. I think with a travel thing, my buddy from college tried to get me to, I went to a meet with him to try to explain to him that it doesn't work. But he said like it was like, I think it was like you sign up 10 people and they give you like express stuff. And again, they always have like the pseudo celebrity person. With his, it was like a person who played for the NBA. His wife was involved, so there was a possibility he's also in it too. And so you might be on the phone one day if you join the business with her, that her husband might jump on the phone and you would be on the phone with the basketball player. With as much money as I would be paying to join this shit, I could buy courtside seats and meet him and actually enjoy the game. You know what I mean? I would have to sit here, listen to this dry ass beat for hours at a time on the possibility that I might be on the phone with a group of other people and hear his voice. Like, that's stupid. Let's see. Christina Stoll. MLM business opportunities. You'll never hear people talk so much without actually saying anything. This is so true. That's where I was, Christina. Christine. You sit there and you're like, when are we getting to it? Okay, fine. You have this kind of money. Oh, wow. You have a BMW. That's nice. Oh, okay. You have a Mercedes-Benz too. Okay, I don't, whatever. I guess 2 cars almost alike, but okay, whatever. I mean, do you, man? Spend your money how you spend your money. How do I get some? Because isn't that why people show up to the meeting? People don't show up to the meeting because they want to hear how well you're doing. People show up to the meeting because they want to do well too. They want to do well for themselves. And why are you not giving the people what they want when they come to these meetings? Because you don't have anything to tell them. And that's the sad part about it. That's the saddest thing about it. And again, it's easy to look at this. I don't want to say that people aren't smart or make people feel bad for getting involved with this. Because again, there is stuff that they say that has some bit of truth to it. Like even on this channel, I've talked before about the power of association. They talk about the power of association too, which is why they tell you that you shouldn't talk to people or hang out with people who tell you to not to join the MLM. Because they understand the power of association. I say it for a different reason, but I think that it's a valid point. I think that if you have to have a certain mindset in order for you to do businesses, in order for you to run and conduct your own business. A lot of people, I mean, this is going to be kind of, it's going to come out wrong, and I understand that. But a lot of people don't necessarily have the tools that it would take in order for you to run your own business. Because it's hard and it's different. And you have you have to be accountable to folks who maybe you do business with, and at the same time, nobody is coming behind you telling you to show up to work, to stay late, to produce this or produce that. Like there's nobody there giving you orders or directions. If it doesn't get done, it's shame on you. It doesn't get done. If you can't build these relationships in order to maintain your business, then that's shame on you. You know, some people like showing up to work knowing how much they're getting paid and not relying on, okay, if I can do this, this, and this, then I might get this amount. They like the idea that I can show up. I know on Monday, I show up at 9 o'clock. I work till 5 o'clock. I have a half-hour lunch, and I get 2 15-minute breaks. And anything I do between 9 to 5 that I do for them, whether I know what I'm doing or not, whether I'm good at what I do or not, is irrelevant because at the end of the week, I know I'm getting paid X amount of dollars. Some people are okay with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. So when they push out that everybody wants to have their own business, not everybody wants to be their own boss. Not everybody wants to take the responsibility of making sure that their business is up and running and being involved that way. Not everybody wants that, you know? And then and kind of like what Christine had said earlier, everything is about financial freedom. So everything with that business becomes about money. And that's one of the things that I noticed is that, you know, I've had money, I've not had money. And I've had money, lost all my money, and then got my money back, and then not had the money again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go up and down. And the one thing that you recognize when you're in that flux is that money is nice to have, but it's not everything. You know, having money gives you the ability to pay bills. And it does give you a certain modicum of freedom of movement and the ability to do certain things. But at the same time, money doesn't change your situation, doesn't change you. So problems that you have, if you're a jerk, you having money, you just a jerk with a lot of money. If people don't like you, it's not like people start liking you because you have money. People like the fact you have money. They like your money. And so they're more likely to try to use you. And it's more likely that you will be surrounded by people who are pretending to like you. But having more money doesn't mean that you have more friends. It doesn't mean that you're more attractive. It just means that you have more people who are willing to overlook the fact that you're a jerk or you're unattractive or, you know, they're not attracted to you. So it's not as much, it's not as clear or as wonderful as a lot of people put it out to be. Does anyone think Cody is going to find a younger wife in the future? I mean, he could. He could. He said he was going. He was thinking about going out finding somebody else, but he he said I would never do that because I would have to explain to her that I love another. Yeah, I agree with that. YouTube is my time machine. What's up? The woman would have to be a fool to marry Cody at this point. Yeah. Because he's better. He's going to beat you up for everything that these other ladies did to him. And for him feeling sorry for himself. It's going to be a hard time. The bar dominium, right? Isn't it mainly about being able to get tax breaks for your home, listed as your business, trips, cars, etc.? It could be. Let's see, Tiffany H. I'm a great worker bee. I couldn't imagine having my own company and worrying about my success. I hated being a regional manager. Too much stress. And that's the thing, too. Because when you are in charge of your own, like when you have that spirit of entrepreneurship, you recognize how much work it is. Because if you don't eat, you don't work, you don't eat. So, and it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. And again, it's not even saying that like it's a bad thing, it's a horrible thing, but it's different. It's a different perspective. You know, how you have to budget is different. How you have to plan is different. You know, and I agree. Rochelle J said money helps. It certainly does. You know, there was I remember years ago somebody said that money can't buy you happiness. And that was a big thing. Money can't buy you happiness. And I would always say, yeah, money can't buy you happiness, but if you got enough of it, you can rent it for a little while. You can rent it. You might not get them ownership papers, but you know. But again, like money is nice to have, but don't sacrifice, don't sell your soul for a little bit of paper. Like it's just not worth it. Peanut Butter said, "Thank goodness I'm not social enough to ever consider an MLM." Well, see, that's kind of the thing too, because like I think that because I have an outgoing personality, or at least for a long time I did, I'll be that guy that's always out, always in the street, always running around, meeting new people and all that. So I was kind of targeted, I think, in large part, in no small part, because of that. But part of it is too, I have been around long enough that I've met a lot of people, and I understand how a lot of the MLMs work, and it's just not for me. Like I think that, and if I were to be successful in an MLM, I would have to be okay with the fact that I'm making other people's situations not okay. And I'm not okay with that. Like that's the biggest problem I have. Like that's one of the biggest problems I have is that I understand that there's no way that you're making money out of that business. And because you're not making any money out of that business, I would feel a certain kind of way telling people or inspiring people to participate in something I know that nothing is ever going to come from it. I know you're not going to make any money. I know that this is going to be bad for you. I know that when you are missing your kids' birthday parties, graduations, you're sacrificing, not providing for your family because you have to buy a certain amount of trash and junk product that you're never going to use. Or even if you do use it, you could get the same product somewhere else for much cheaper. You could go to Amazon or some of the other companies that they mentioned. Like, oh, it's like Walmart. They sell these at Walmart. Yeah, they do sell them at Walmart for like, for each unit. I'm selling these units for $2-3 supposedly. But Walmart sells the competitor or same or similar brand of this same thing, name brand, for $1.50. But I'm supposed to upcharge a friend in the name of business? How does that work? Why don't I just go to Walmart and buy a case of whatever it is we're selling, and that would be 50-cent profit for me if I was selling at the same rate? That's just business. That would be the business part of it that I would never understand. But then you're taking advantage of people, and you're encouraging people and telling people to stick with stuff that you know is never going to work out for them. Another thing that bothers me is the fact that when you get involved with whether it's MLMs or acting, singing, any type of entertainment, you should never have to pay to participate. That's one of the golden rules. Like if you're going to be a singer, a dancer, an actor, a comedian, a business person, in this kind of business where you're an IBO or whatever, why am I giving you money so that I can have the opportunity to make money? That doesn't even make sense. When was the last time you filled out a job application and you had to give them money so that you could fill out the application? Wait for that check to clear, and then I'm going to get a job at the energy company. I'm going to get a job at the post office as soon as I get this paycheck so that way I'll be able to pay for this application. No. You put the application in, and then if they want to hire you, you might have extenuating costs or associated costs with joining the job. Maybe you have to buy a uniform or something like that. But you would only be buying something that would assist you in making money. You're not buying something so that way you could participate and maybe have the opportunity or chance that you might make something. That's crazy. That's bad business. That's your first test. That's your first damn test. If I show up to a business meeting with people I'm supposed to be in business with, and they say to me, James, we'd love to partner with you, but we need you to buy $1,000 worth of merchandise so that we could sell it for $500. And if I say yes, they should immediately get up from the table and walk away. You failed that test, James. We don't want to do business with you because apparently you can't count. Right? That could hurt our business. So to me, it would make more sense that, like, if I want to be a good business partner, that when they come to me with a bad business deal, that I pull their coattails and be like, no, that's a ridiculous business deal. We're not doing that. What we should do is this. So we're going to be in business together. And that's what I said to the one guy who invited me. I was like, well, wouldn't it make more sense, like I said, if we just went down to like a Walmart or a BJ's or a Costco, Sam's Club or somebody. If you go buy a bulk water or whatever and you take it down and you sell that, you can make more money because you're getting it at a lower price point than the supply that you're getting from this supposed multi-level marketing company. And you could sell it for the same money, if not a little cheaper, and sell more of it. You could actually sell it because it's a name brand. Wouldn't that make more sense? Nah, man, you don't understand the opportunity because then you don't have the benefit of the downline. See, that's what it's about. It's about the downline. And that's why you keep asking me about my friends and family. I don't want to bring my friends and family. I want to make money first. Well, I mean, we could do that, but you need your friends and family. Why don't you give me the list? Why would I do that? Y'all think James in his chat could have a stand-up special featuring Raspberry, Chancla, James, Rochelle, Sarcasm for Fun, and Alicia? I'll buy tickets. Oh, Kathy Ferran. Yeah, right. I won't say anything. I could, but I'm not going to. Oh, man. Yeah, you too, my time machine. That's a red flag. Number one, James. Yeah, when they start asking you for money, if you show up anywhere and they start asking for your money, especially on a business deal, they shouldn't be asking you for investments, especially if they haven't shown you or demonstrated to you how you're going to get your investment. You're going to have a return on investment, and you're going to be able to make the money that justifies the investment in the beginning. And investment, I'm not just talking about financial investment. I'm also talking about time, because that's the one commodity that is priceless. Like, your time is priceless. So when they come in and they start talking about you need to come to this 3-hour meeting and we're going to go over business strategies, and all they do in that 3 hours is tell you about how much money they're making, you're wasting my time. And because you're wasting my time, we can't do business. Because if you waste my time, then you're going to waste my money too. And I'm throwing good money after a bad time spent. So I'm good. Yeah. And he said, Jesse, Olenbrock, I think that's it. They also target stay-at-home mothers. Yes, because when you target stay-at-home mothers, they hit them with the you'll be able to stay at home with your kids. You'll have opportunities. You'll have more time on your hands. You'll have all these things, and you'll be able to provide for your kids and your family. And even when the people don't believe in you, what you're going to show them is that when you start making money, it's going to be all worth it. And what that does is, like, ironically enough, it also starts to encourage like people hiding stuff back. So you'll have situations where people will be spending more money than they tell people because, if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're spending $500 a month on product so that you can maintain your PV, BV, or whatever the hell it is, like your points or whatever, so that you can stay relevant or stay active as a business owner, and you're spending that $500, but you're only making $50, then is that a conversation a lot of people are trying to have with their spouse? Probably not. So it encourages you to be dishonest too. It encourages a level of dishonesty with your the people that you're in relationships with. And those types of secrets, especially about money, infidelity, those, like, especially money, those types of secrets break families up. Especially when money's leaving the accounts and you don't know where it's going, and here you find out she bought, you got a garage full of drinks and stuff that nobody want to drink, and you can't sell because nobody want to buy that stuff because the money comes in when they start going to the meetings. So, creates problems. And Carolyn also said, like, hiding your shopping in a back store shit. Yeah. For those that don't know, that's Robin. She was hiding her, when she was married to her previous husband, she was hiding her stuff in a storage shed out back so that he wouldn't know, and she was slowly incorporated into the house so that he didn't know exactly how much money she was spending. That's a shame. Cavern listens to that echo. Wow. Closet full of sister wife jewelry. Garage full of sister wife jewelry. Yeah, right? And that's exactly what would happen. People be sitting there with a whole bunch of stuff that they can't get rid of. Jewelry that nobody wants to buy or look at. But you have to keep buying it. And then next month, guess what, y'all? Gotta buy more of it. And after a while, you'll have enough jewelry that you can melt it down and make a bracelet. What's this? You only hear about the good times. Just like gambling, only hear about the winnings, never the loss. Yeah. And it's, you know what? And to be honest with you, I think it's even worse because at least, like, when they tell you, like, it's not just the one person that you're talking to. I think that it's all the way out throughout the organization that you hear about the winning. Because, like I said, when I went to the meeting, that's all they talked about is, like, how much money they had. This guy's talking about how much money he had. And then if you listen to the people around you, or at least the people around me, most of the people were talking about, they weren't talking about the money that they had. They were talking about the money that this guy had. So how long you been here? You've been here for a couple years and you're still talking about how much money he have? But I thought it was easy. I thought all you had to do was follow the program. You telling me you haven't figured out how this program works after 2 or 3 years? Maybe the program don't work. And if we go back to the thing, if 99.6% of the people experience loss in multi-level marketing businesses, you telling me 99.6% of the people can't figure out how this program works? They have no idea. Almost 100% of the people have no idea how to make this program work. Only 0.04% are smart enough to figure out how to actually make money in this business. Excuse me. Yeah, Pamela Curl. Yeah, right. It was horrible. But the people you know are already buying from the person that recruited you. Exactly. You know, there's like 15 Burger Kings all on the same block. Like, which one do you go to this week? You know, am I going to buy my powder from Susan and then buy my lotion from Ted and get my energy drinks from Frank, and then I'll just rotate it between all of them so that way I keep their memberships high? Like, no. Especially when I go to Walmart and they're like, oh, look, 50% cheaper. Why am I? Because I'm a consumer. And that's what consumers do. They try to find the best deal. And most of these multi-level marketing businesses are nowhere near the best deal. Was this Carmen Harper? My sister-in-law sold Avon, and when she did the math, she wanted to meet with the CEO. Yeah, right. Like, this shit don't add up. Wait a minute. You get that check, like, oh, look how much money I made. Yeah, that's, I got a check for $1,000. Yeah, that's because you spent $3,000 on product. Oh, Tracy McMurray, those kids aren't going to college. They might learn how their mama is a giant manipulating liar. Wow. I guess talking about Robin's kids. Cat Bloomfield. The way we're laughing, we could be spokespeople for the Pens, and Robin still won't be able to get that gig. Cindy from Oz. I still don't understand how Robin got a good credit score to build that house in Vegas, build the Vegas house. Because what's the name? Janelle used her 401k to pay her bad credit off, pay her debt off. And then by paying her debt off, they were negotiating with the creditors to, I'm sure, have the debt removed from her credit report. So they take it off of the collections, take it out of collections, and then basically say she paid it all. I'm sure they worked it probably with that way. And in addition to that, if they, depending on how they fluctuated the Cody Brown Entertainment LLC accounts, the money that was coming from from TLC, how they said it, they apportioned it. Like, she could have been, her on paper, she could have looked like she was making a ton of money. Tiffany H., you have a great night. James, I'm so glad your live was earlier. It allowed me to watch more of your live before bed. Thanks for your videos. Good night. All right. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, I'm about to hit the sheets myself. I don't know. I'm wore out tonight. Whoever put the poll up was super clever. Tips hat. Tips it back. Yeah, thank you. Just trying something different. Jesse Oldenbrook. The market becomes saturated. Yeah, with junk stuff. And part of the problem is that if these products were as viable as the multi-level marketing people say, the network marketing people say, then they wouldn't need the network marketers. They wouldn't. Like, I mean, I could see maybe if you were rolling a new product or a new business out and you just needed people to help spread the word that the product was available or business was available. But after a while, you wouldn't want to incorporate more people because there wouldn't be a need to do it. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you saw... Well, let me ask you this first. Strike that redirect. How many people are familiar with cars or products that come from Lamborghini or Ferrari or even the Chevrolet Corvette? Now, I'm familiar with those vehicles. Let me ask you another question. When was the last time you saw a commercial for any one of them cars? You know about those cars. You know they're available. You know they're highly sought after. If somebody pulled up in one, you would know what it is. But when was the last time you saw a commercial for one of them cars? They don't send you commercial. They don't make commercials for those cars. Mostly because the people who can afford those cars, no, they're the only ones they really interested in talking to. It's a waste of money for them to put the car, schematics and stuff out. They don't want people showing up. The second part is the people who want the car or who can afford the car or who could get the car or will be interested in the car, know about the car, and they know where to go get the cars. Point blank. If these products were so amazing, so awesome, so life-changing, these products were game changers, they wouldn't need somebody, they wouldn't need a mother of six or a housewife to tell people about these products. And that's no slight on mothers of sixes or housewives. They just wouldn't, it wouldn't be required. It would actually be bad business for them to hire people to tell, hire any folks to tell them about it. It'd be bad business for them to tell me about it and have me talking about it on my channel. It would be bad business. Like Nike isn't contacting James and, James, we need you to talk about, the new Air Jordans on your channel. When was the last time you saw a commercial for Air Jordans? Hell, when was the last time you saw a commercial for Yeezys? Them shoes are supposed to be like $1,000, some ugly ass shoes. You know what I mean? Ferrari, Lambo, essentially have a different market, different clientele. Yeah, because the clientele already know about it, and they don't. And frankly, if you finding out about their products on TV, you're probably not the people they marketing towards anyway. I feel you, Kathy. I'm going through it too. Yep, that's what it is. You don't have to market to people who can afford them, and the people who are looking for them. Yeah, it's almost midnight. February 9th, 1983. Little red Corvette. Dude, I see what you yeah, right? Prince? You talking about Prince? You know what I mean? They don't have to advertise, right? Because of the quality of the product is the whole point. So even like beyond like the idea of the target market, it's the quality of the product that's why they don't have to advertise. Like point blank, because it's not enough like rich people will buy it because they're rich. Rich people buy it because it's an exclusive product. The name recognition alone will cause them to purchase it, but it's the quality of the product. They hand built some of them cars too. Like between the Lamborghinis, Ferraris, the Bugattis, they hand build them bad boys. That's why they only have a couple hundred come out a year, because they hand build them. So it's a lot more to it. But I mean, shit, like McDonald's will come out, ba 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 ba. I'm loving it. But they don't come out and be like, oh yeah, by the way, we selling chicken nuggets and we selling hamburgers. And guys, you can get them, they're delicious. Like they come out and they'll advertise lightly, but they're not saturating the market. They certainly aren't trying to find people to make sure everybody knows about it. Tracy McMurray Janelle, in my opinion, was operating from, trust and faith in her religion and her family. I don't fault Janelle because one should trust her religion and family, but I bet she learned from it. Oh, you would hope. She also said that she'd be interested in doing it again. So, Kathy Ferran, you have a good one. Yeah, Jesse. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut out early as well, guys. I'm crawling along. I thought I'd be more prepared for this. Jennifer in the house. What's up, Jennifer? 1999 super chat. Thank you so much. Sonveri, I think her name is Jennifer. Appreciate you, Jennifer. Oh, what is this? An oil change is anywhere from $400 to $1,000 depending on which one of these elite cars you're getting. An oil change for. Yeah. Well, because I heard like even the brake jobs, like on the Bugatti, that thing is it's like thousands of dollars just to get your brakes done. So now, yeah. Everyone, please remember to smash that like. Oh, did you see where Mary added her relationship with Amos and she is blaming it on some of the fans as well as he couldn't handle her being a celebrity? Yeah, you know what? I heard they had had a breakup. But just from my perspective, like I didn't really want to get into the whole Amos thing because I understood that like we could cause them to break up just because it puts a lot of pressure on any relationship. Like being a new relationship is always going to be problematic and difficult. But to have a new relationship where everybody is looking for that relationship and looking for the cracks in the relationship, that puts undue pressure on a relationship and it becomes unfair. And it doesn't really give it a good shot. And sometimes, you know, as much as it's easy to blame like, oh, it's the fans and it's the fame and he was jealous and he was upset about us not being able to work it out and da 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 da. But the truth of the matter is, not everybody is for everybody. Just because you date somebody and you guys are kind of digging on each other doesn't mean that at the end of the day you guys are going to get married. You know, not everybody's for everybody. So, like, shit happens, and I think that's part of the challenge is that, you know, Christine, when she left her relationship, I think Christine kind of set it up for unrealistic expectations because when she left, it seemed like all you have to do is you leave the relationship and you could land right into, you know, a soulmate situation and it'll be so easy to do. Where it is not that easy to do. Like finding somebody who you're compatible with, you know, I say, like from the perspective of, it's not even so much finding somebody who you are going to be in love with, like the end all be all of everything that you ever made and created for yourself. Just finding somebody who you can tolerate being in a room with for hours at a time is enough. Like that sometimes can be difficult and challenging. You know, aside from like being in love with them and feeling like they're your soulmate, end all be all. So to find that person who is your person is difficult. And sometimes you have to do the work and you have to take a step back and you have to relax. Because don't put that kind of undue pressure. That's what I would say to Mary. Take the time, enjoy. Hopefully you enjoyed your time with him. You know, you got something from him, from your interactions with him. You walk away from that relationship with a positive experience. Hopefully it was positive. And you move on. You know? You don't, just because it didn't work out. Okay. You know, he couldn't take it because you were famous. All right, well, I mean, if it was just because you're on TV, then maybe in a couple years or 2-3 years or 2 or 3 seasons, that the show comes to an end, or you decide you don't want to do the show anymore, you guys can meet back up and kick things off again. If it was meant to be, it'll happen. If not, maybe it's for the best. Sometimes when you break up with people, the shit is for the best. I know that people don't hear that, don't like hearing that. Like, oh, you can't say that because, it's not fair. That's not what I want to hear. Sometimes when the relationship don't work out, I've been there. You'll look back on that relationship, or you'll look back on that opportunity. You say, thank goodness it didn't work out. I'm so happy that they said no. or I asked them out and they didn't want to go, or we dated a few times, didn't really hit it off, and we went our separate ways. I'm so thankful that happened, because had it not gone that way, we would be stuck with each other and we would be miserable. So I feel for her that her situation ended, and I think Mary's been through a lot. And I think that Mary has a lot of things that she has to work out for herself. And if she's working those things out and she feels good about herself and she's looking for somebody to spend her time with, I think that I hope she finds somebody who is worthy of her time. That's kind of where I'm at. If they're only making 100, 150 cars, yeah, James, brakes are going to be super expensive. Since they are being mass produced. Yeah, them cars, man, they are ridiculous. Just as a quiet note, anybody I've ever talked to who's had one of those cars, or like exotic cars, you never buy those cars. Mercedes, Benz, Audis for sure. Never buy Audi. Audis, you lease those cars. Have a car that you can drive, daily driver. You lease those cars, and if those cars, once the lease is up, you get yourself a new lease, get the newer version of that car, because usually around year 5, year 6, they're going to start needing repair or maintenance, and that repair and maintenance is crazy. So, and goodness gracious, if something happens to the car where you need to do some major repair work, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. So from that regard, especially with the higher end luxury cars, or even some of the exotic cars, you have to have special tools and you have to have the computers. This isn't something you just take to the old shade tree, give them a case of beer and just, put that car over there and I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. I'll hook you up. Nope. It's not like that. Them cars need people who have been trained on that car to work on those cars. So it's just get the lease, and strong insurance. Yeah, Raspberry. It is difficult to find people who service luxury cars in general. This is true, and this is why a lot of times, and even with some of the cars, depending on the warranties and all that stuff that you have on a car, you very well may have, and depending on the car, you very well may have to go to the dealer to get those cars serviced. Period. Full stop. The equipment and stuff that you need. Tesla is another one, notorious. That if you have a Tesla, you have to go to a Tesla dealer to have your car serviced. You can't just take it to the corner garage or whatever, because they don't have the computers. They can get in there, even if they could change, for instance, your brake or do an oil change, they don't have the computers to be able to upload from the CPU inside the car to let the car know that the oil's been changed or whatever the case may be, and it'll turn your damn car off. So, yeah. I mean, if you pay premium prices for these luxury premium cars, so they're not playing with you. If your car breaks down, you should be able to afford it. That's crazy. Is this? We go every few years for a month, but we stay at my brother's and sister-in-law's. I'm not sure what that is. Might have missed something. Oh, you're going to Australia. Awesome. Okay. All right, living that life. At Raspberry, if you have a luxury car, you don't have a problem. They give you a guide and have a car events where vendors mingle. All right, Sonia. I will be here next week. And I will make sure I get a good nap before I do this. Oh, my door is always open. Oh, I didn't know that. Carolyn R. said Christine also used a matchmaker. Yeah, she did mention that during the season finale. That's when she was talking to, that's when McKelty got herself in trouble with Cody. Yeah, your dad said that. I don't know why he said that. You're pretty, Mom. You're beautiful. Can't believe she said that to her. Cody's such a jackass. Can't believe you said that. Can't believe you said she's pretty. What kind of shit is that? Tracy McMurray says Mary needs to date like 10 guys. Because I think she only just dated Cody prior to marriage. I think you're right. It's important to see what's out there before just latching on to somebody. Yeah. Especially when you're in a relationship that is kind of like the one that they just left. Because I had said that about Christine's dude, David Woolley. That, I mean, hopefully that relationship works and hopefully everything turns out the way she hopes. I hope, nothing but blessings for her. But that's also one of the complications is that with the relationship with Cody, the bar is set so low that anybody who comes in and pays a modicum of attention to you based on you not getting any attention in your previous relationship seems like this dude is doing the world. But he's basically doing bare minimum for most people who are in similar relationships or whatever. Like they'll look at that and be like, okay, so yeah, we went out the other day and he asked me how my day was. Wow, it's amazing. Like, what are you talking about? You were having a conversation? Yeah, we were. And he was asking me questions about me, like, how was my day? What are my hopes? What are my dreams? He's such a dreamboat. Like, that's just a normal thing. That's not special. So, I mean, I hope Mary gets out and I hope she experiences more of life and I hope she finds what she wants. Ultimately, I hope she finds what she wants. Like, I don't think she's really trying to go crazy with the date market. Like, I don't think she's really trying to get out there and go wild. But I hope she gets the kind of experience that will set her up for success. And one of the challenges and one of the things that I think is most challenging is for you to find confidence in your movement and find confidence in yourself. And, because she underwent what she underwent, confidence isn't just you being loud and aggressive. That's not necessarily confidence. Sometimes that's overcompensation. Confidence is you being sure of your movements and you being sure of yourself. So if she's sitting there making these conversations with these dudes and she's talking to them, it's not just about, hey, what's going on? And I'm going to tell them what I think of what's going on. It's about you being okay with him not calling you. If you don't want to call me, if you don't want to deal with me, that's fine. If you don't think that the relationship is working, okay, well, thank you for coming out. I enjoy hanging out with you. That kind of confidence is what I'm referring to. So I hope she finds that. And like I said, be okay with this dude. Like if he doesn't want to be with you for whatever reason, like, because I'm going to keep it all the way a stack. Oh, I think that when she said that, because somebody made the reference, and I haven't seen it for myself because I was trying to avoid some of these conversations, but I will give this observation. If she is indeed blaming the fan base for him not wanting to see you, then he's not the right guy for you. If he can't accept your situation as it is, then he's not the right guy for you. That's your situation. That's like saying that, if you meet a guy and you have children and he says that I can't date you because you have kids or you're somebody's mother and I don't want to have to deal with that responsibility, then he doesn't want to date you. because you are a mother. And if you have kids, the kids come along with it. So I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? I would love to go out with you. James, you're a tall guy. Yes, I am. But okay, I'll take a look at that. You're a tall guy, but I wish you were shorter. Okay, well, I can't. I'm not going to be shorter. Like, there's some things you're not going to be. She's not going to not be famous tomorrow. Even if she came off the show, here's the thing that's ironic. Even if she came off the show tomorrow, it wouldn't make a difference. Because she's still going to be somebody that's going to get talked about. And people are still going to be curious about the things that she has going on. The fact that she started that Friends with Jen, or Friends Friday Friends, Friday with Friends, and she was doing an Instagram thing with Jen, and she's keeping herself in the spotlight. Even if she came off a sister wife and she just did that, there would be people who are interested in Friends Friday with Friends who are going to comment on her relationship. And if the guy can't handle that, then that's not the guy for you. So instead of blaming the fans, instead of blaming this person or that person, it just wasn't a good fit. And on we move. That's just how I see it. I mean, I'm not in the situation, so it's easy for me to have an opinion. I can say whatever the hell I want to say, but I hope Mary at least consider that. Just consider that if he can't take the fact that you were on a show or whatever, he can't take the fact that the fans have an opinion, and some of the fans aren't necessarily looking out to say something bad about him. They're just trying to look out for you. And if he can't handle that, maybe that's a sign in and of itself. Because from what I saw, I didn't see a whole lot of people coming out against him. So it wasn't even like he was getting a Cody treatment. Oh, he ain't nothing. I don't know why she's with him. I didn't even see that. I saw a lot of people. I hope she's happy. I hope that everything works out. That's a lot of stuff that I was saying. If he can't handle that, then, bruh, I don't know what to tell you. MJC 427. Christine had a matchmaker and vetted the guys first. Besides, with Cody as her ex, the goalpost was that high. She got lucky. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think that she got lucky, and it creates a false sense of expectation. Like, you come out thinking, like, oh, it's easy. But it might not be easy. She might have just got lucky. She might have just got really lucky. And I can appreciate that, too. Did TLC push the announcement of that relationship? Timing is everything. And that was immediately after Christine and David's wedding. Yes. I think she was excited about, from my understanding, I think she was excited about talking about the relationship, and she waited till after Christine's episode aired before she presented the guy, presented Amos. Let's see. Sometimes I kind of think that no matter what the relationship you're going to go get into, there's going to be baggage from your relationship, from your past, and their relationship and their past. Yeah, I agree with that. Because I think that, you are a culmination of your experience. Good or bad, yeah or nay, pro or for not. Like, you are a culmination of your experience. And with that being said, I think that there is a point where you'll take a little bit of your previous relationships into your next relationships, but it's just a matter of you being able to, the whole point is you have to pause a little bit so that way you can make sure that you're not holding somebody accountable for something or paying for something that they didn't do. Like, they're paying a price for something that somebody else did to you. Like, that's usually where people say you need to give a little time, you need to give a little space, so that way you're not punishing somebody for something somebody else did. But, I mean, I don't know. That, like, Cody's, like I said, Cody, the way he treated them, and with the guessing and all that stuff, and the attention he paid to him, the neglect he provided to Mary, like, she deserves happiness. She deserves to find that person who can be her rock. But it's like most things, if you look too hard for something, you may not see the forest for the trees. Like, so the person that you could need to be with and really enjoy being with could be right in front of you, but you so busy scanning the room, you're missing them, you're overlooking them. Obligatory request for an update on the Patreon. Yeah, I gotta get that. I gotta just drill it down. I might just get some rest tonight and then just drill it up tomorrow and then throw it out. Because I wanted to do the Patreon through my Discord, just because it gives me a little more freedom. Because, like I said, I wanted to be able to bring people, do panels and bring people up to do panels and things like that. I just gotta cut time out to finish that. I gotta finish my sign. I got a whole bunch of stuff I gotta do. But thanks for asking, though. Lizzie B. James, we have an issue with the Facebook chat. The lost episode. I wrote you an email about it. I'll check it out. Thanks for the super chat. I'll check it out and I'll send you something back. Thank you, Lizzie B. I appreciate you. Cindy from Oz. Okay. I'm glad Mary is putting herself out there. Mary is really opening up and getting heard. Yeah. Yeah. And then part of it is too, is that I think Mary has always kind of been in a position where other people have defined Mary. So it'll be interesting if Mary takes the reins for herself and allows herself to be herself so that she could find herself. And for good or for not, like the audience is going to do what the audience is going to do. And she can't really worry about, trying to manipulate or control what other people think about you. So just be your damn self. Like, she's doing well. Like I said, with from my understanding, with the Friday with Friends, she's doing well. Like, people are receiving it well, especially with her friend Jen. Like, they see a different, like, even I said that. Like, I see a different side of Mary when she's talking to Jen as opposed to when she's dealing with the other wives, or especially when she was dealing with Robin. Then I think she needs to explore more of that personality, like, which is actually her true personality. Be more yourself, like, because you are not fitting in with these other people. So that just wasn't working. That was oil and water, and that might, that too might give a different perspective. Maybe open up some opportunities for you, Mary. Because the guys watch this and be like, okay, like that. I work for certain who would say, don't disturb me even if I'm with my wife. But if I'm a mechanic, if my mechanic calls, put them through. Yeah, man. I can see that. My ex said that Volkswagens are a bitch for oil changes, and half the time they don't put it back together correctly. Yeah. And a lot of the VWs will have, like, Volkswagens will have oil leaks. Like, they're notorious for oil leaks. Like, once they, like you said, once they put them together, they never get them quite back together where it's tight, where everything is tight and right. But a beanhead said, new cars also need special tools, and some you have to take apart just to change the headlights. Yeah. And that's what I was saying about the Audis. Like, you had some of the Audis, the more expensive ones, like, you have to remove, like, if you do, like, older cars, oil changes for older cars, it's just a matter of you taking off a bolt or technically it's a plug out of the pan, and that'll drain out. Put the plug back. You reach up. You take out the filter. Bingo, bango. Especially if you have one of them jacks that they have at the garage. That's not even a 10-minute job. You know what I mean? That's why they're so cheap. But with some cars, especially some of the Audis, some of the more expensive cars, you have to there's so many more steps. Like, you're taking off stuff because you can't access certain parts of the engine that you need to access in order to drain the fluids properly. Then you have to go in and you have to hit that computer to update the computer to reactivate everything, because any disturbance within the motor will shut the whole thing down. So it's like some of the newer cars are a pain in the ass. Like, these are not like, I work on cars like here and there. Like I'll work on my car, and I do a lot of this stuff on some of my cars. Me and my wife's car. I do a lot of this stuff for our cars. But if I buy a new car, then a lot of the stuff that even I know how to do I won't be able to do it anymore, just because I don't have the computers, I don't have the technology, and even as mentioned, I don't have some of the tools. Like the Butterbean head said, like you have to have special tools, especially anything BMW. They have their own like wrenches and stuff like that. Oh, a bunch of people need some help there. I'll take a look at it. Stephanie, Harriet Large, family diabetic cooking. That's important. Diabetic cooking. Yeah. Because to make food tasty and healthy can sometimes be a challenge. Mary has been through a lot. Cody has emotionally abused her. To this point, she feels like she's worth nothing, and now she's finding her self-worth. Yeah. Because that's kind of the rough part about watching Mary's story. Because I even came out with I even talked about like her catfishing incident and all that, and I understand. I understand how a lot of that challenge happened for her when she was working towards like the whole catfishing incident. I understand how a lot of that occurred. And that's why when I first started talking about it, I was like, look, I'm not going to cast a judgment as far as whether she's right or she's wrong for doing it. Like I refuse to say that she no, I guess that's not fair. I think it was cheating. I'm not a big proponent of cheating. But I understand how the shit happened. I get it. I get it. Like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, you were an evil person, Mary, because you stepped out and you were catfished. Nope. Because that dude had already abandoned her. Like, as far as she was concerned in real terms, like, their relationship was basically over. That thing was they were married in name only. So it's hard for me to sit here and say, you can't go out and talk to anybody else because that you have a piece of paper somewhere that somebody said that you guys are married. And meanwhile, back in the ranch, this guy is spending his nights at everybody else's house but yours. He's spending his time with everybody but you. He's concerned and he's caring for and he's compassionate with a bunch of people that don't have nothing to do with you. But you have to stay faithful to that situation. I'm not prepared to do that. So therefore, I understand why she did what she did. I get it. But, I think when I said I hope that she could recognize what she did, and some people take exception to that and say that, she wasn't wrong and this and other. It's not a matter of being wrong or right. It's just a matter of being able to recognize what you did and then moving past it and not allowing people to define you by what you did or what you didn't do. Because when you hide back, like if I do something and I'm sitting here trying to cover up what I did, then I'm giving somebody else power over my situation. And that's just how I took it. Right or wrong. Yeah, I missed the one comment. Somebody said that their family member working at Benz or BMW in LA, and they could do the work themselves. Peanut butter. James, would you work for Worthy Up? You always have the best advice. Thank you for that. I'd have to find out more about them because I wouldn't want to work for an organization that's giving people motivational advice, which I'm all about. I love motivational advice. I listen to motivational stuff all the time. Like I like quotations and motivational speeches and all that. And, the quotations. We are the champions. To take the pen for yourself, write your own history. I like that stuff. But I don't like it for profit and profit's sake. Like, I mean, if you're gonna make money off of it, I'm not offended by that. Obviously, it is what it is. But I don't like the idea that you only care about it up until the point that you can make turn a dollar on it. Like, I think that if you're saying something that you believe, if you can make money, then it is what it is. But I think with those kind of things, for me, motivation is such a powerful tool that you shouldn't be using it just to make money. You should mean what you say. So if they were like, if it was a sincere thing, then yeah, I could do it. But if it was just a money grab, yeah, I'll pass. Hard pass that. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying. Let's see. Mary might have less pressure to get married than what Christine did because there aren't minors in her house. Yeah. And that was kind of a weird thing too, because I had heard that Cody was pissed off that, pardon my vulgar saying, but yeah, Cody was angry because David and Christine were living together. And he didn't like the fact that they were shacking up and it was an unholy alliance and da. But I'm like, bro, you were living with 4 other women. What are you talking about? I know you considered yourself married and in your faith you guys were married, but like I said, let's call a thing a thing. You guys are, you can say whatever you want. But as that when you use the term married, there's not just a spiritual component to that word. There's also a legal power to that word as well. Like if that's your husband, then you have certain protections because that's your husband. Not just certain legal protections if you guys separate, but you also have certain powers over him and his estate. For instance, if something were to happen to Cody, then his wife, Robin, would be able to go to the hospital and determine who could go back and see Cody. Especially if he was unconscious or, he's on his way out. She could say, look, I think I want to be the only one to see Cody on his way out. And she could decide what to do with the body. She has power in that situation. So, let's call a thing a thing. That's all I'm saying. If we're going to if these people really genuinely want to have that kind of power being spread amongst these folks, let's fight to make that happen. But I haven't seen where people are actually legitimately fighting to make that happen. I see where they want to be able to be in public and have the same rights as somebody, but I haven't seen anybody step up and say, I feel like my estate should be divided amongst any wife who wants to divorce me. I haven't seen that yet. So that's the part I'm waiting for. Coastal Devo. And I know, and it's just a bad term to use for it. LOL. Okay. MJC, James, she is not blaming the fan base. She came off to me as hating the game, not the player. That's fair play. I mean, like I said, I'm just commenting off of what I've seen. Like I saw like little things here and there. Because to be honest with you, I can understand the frustration. Like, I mean, if that gives any clarity to my position, like I can understand the frustration. Like if you are in a position that she's in and you just left a marriage has been horrible. Like, what I mean? Like, just terrible. Like, this dude is, like, treated like garbage and garbage, and he's a trash dude, and you leave him, and things aren't work out, and you find somebody else, and you're kind of digging on them, and that relationship doesn't work out because of your situation, then I can understand why you might be looking for somebody to to be upset with, and the pressures of that relationship. Like, because that's a lot of pressure. Like, Amos, whether he did leave because of the spotlight or not, it's a lot of pressure. And I can see why some people who don't necessarily want to sign up for that. Not everybody wants to be famous. Not everybody wants to be on TV. So I get it. Especially when, you kind of have you have things in your past that you might not be the most proud of. Everybody does. You have stuff that you not, wouldn't go into a crowded room and be like, hey guys, let me tell you about this and I was involved with. It's amazing. Like, you wouldn't do that over certain things, like all of us have, I'm sure. And his stuff, though, because of who he's associating with, is being smashed all over YouTube and other social media sites, and people are making whole videos about it, talking about him, and having opinions about who he is, what he did, and whether he's deserving of being with Mary. That creates pressure in a relationship. So I could see somebody, I'm leaving you, Mary, because of this, and then her being mad because he left because of this. I could see that. So that's all I was saying. I mean, if she's not mad at us, then, even if she was mad at us, I would understand why she is mad. But if she's not mad, that's great too. With how religious they are, I could see Cody dragging Christine for living with Truly. Yeah, right. Yeah, because they're super conservative too. With someone she's not married to. I wonder if that rushed her and David. You know what? That might have greased the rails. I wouldn't doubt it. That might grease the rails a little bit. But even Truly, like, I thought it was ironic that, like, she was like, oh, I just assumed that mom and dad was married, or mom and David was married because they lived together. And that's what she knows. Like, that's what, because, they didn't walk down the aisle and get married and have a whole ceremony. She just, all of a sudden one move in and they're married. So, Truly don't know the difference. It just is what it is. Bob the Skeleton's way more desirable than Cody. Mama Squirrel. Squirrel. Pamela Curl. How did you get interested in Sister Wives? I like your thoughtful reaction to them. Pamela, for those who don't know, I was not a reality show watcher. The way I got hooked into reality shows, or even talking about reality shows, was, some of you already know. My daughter would watch the reality shows, and I'd come past and I'd see the shows. Like, she started out with like 90 Day Fiance and all that. And I thought it was a great opportunity for me to be able to talk about interpersonal dynamic relationships between people, and to have those conversations, express my viewpoint, especially on different types of situations that you might not see every day. Like, because if you don't have relationships, especially a 90 Day Fiance, or I'm doing Love After Lockup, I got to do that. I got some videos I got to do for that I'll probably put out this week. But you see these types of situations, and if she's fortunate enough that maybe she doesn't have friends, or she's not going through this type of thing, I like to prepare her. I won't say people, but I like to prepare her and anybody I talk to. I like to prepare them by, like, sitting around thinking about things that could happen, so that way, if it does happen, you kind of have an idea of what you would do in this situation, or how you should react to it, or recognizing it if it does appear or present itself. So when she was watching a lot of the 90 Day, we'll watch that. And then Sister Wives, we started watching that. I didn't start watching Sister Wives till about season 16, to be honest with you. And then I went back and just digging through some of the personalities, some of the characters, and having those conversations like, look, if you see da-da-da-da-da, this is what you need to recognize. There was one instance that sticks out in my mind. There was a young lady on 90 Day Fiance, Yara's friend. There's a woman from Ukraine. She had a group of friends. Girl wound up getting locked up for trafficking. She was playing in traffic, y'all. But she was telling the one young lady, I could see in that situation, she was talking bad about the Yara's husband. And I said, you got to watch people like that, because they try to tear your situation down. So it's just a way for you to be able to have general conversations For me, it was just a way for me to have general conversations with my daughter about situations without having to talk to her necessarily about her situations or somebody else. And it's an easy way to ease into these conversations and give your opinion. And that's what I thought. So hopefully that made sense and it wasn't too rambly. But I kind of felt like it was a little rambly. She stated that the fans and media, thank you, Stephanie. She stated the fans and the media were getting into a Mrs. Business. They were digging into things that had no business digging into, and it was causing problems in his business. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It was digging into his business. I got you. I got you. Well, yeah, yeah. And like I said, there, it could be anything. you know, it could be something silly. It could be something serious. It could be just be the fact that the intrusion of it that people don't necessarily care about. And again, I get that, but that's kind of one of those. Mary, if you're watching, if you find yourself in a situation where somebody can't accept you, because that's where a lot of her problem came, because the man she was with couldn't accept her for who she was. And even up until the point, like the things that he would say on TV is basically, I don't like you for the way you act. So I don't like you for being you. And my thing is that life is too short for you to have to try to make yourself into somebody that somebody is going to like. Let them like you. Because if they like the person that you pretend to be, sooner or later, you're going to stop pretending. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to stop liking you. So be the person who you are. Be who you are. And in this case, if who she is somebody who is on TV. Who she is somebody who has fans who care about her and are curious about her life and her lifestyle, because that's how she came to meet these folks. So people are going to ask questions. And, I didn't really try to get too deep into, when I talked about Amos, I talked about things that Mary had brought out from on her Instagram. Like when she introduced him, I had a conversation about that. But I didn't really want to get too deep into their business, because Amos, even though he presented himself and he was taking pictures with her, he didn't really put himself out to me that he was really trying to be in the spotlight. And I, for at least for me on this channel, I try to take the position that if you're on TV and you sign up to do a reality show, then you should expect people to talk about your business. As far as I know, he didn't really sign up to do the reality show portion. He's just with somebody who's on a reality show. So from my perspective, he didn't really sign up to have me digging into his life and discussing his business. So I was trying to respect him on that end. And so if their relationship would have worked, then it would have worked. And it would have been great if it did. But if it didn't, then, I just hope that they both found peace and solitude. And like I said, if good people don't have to, you don't have to find a villain in order for you to break up with somebody. Some shit just don't work out. You a good person, I'm a good person, we just not good together. Okay. It was a good time. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being respectful. If we could part as friends, cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You ain't gotta wait till people hate each other and trying to flatten tires and bust out windows for you to leave. Like, you know what I mean? Coastal Diva. Fact of the matter is that he just wanted to be friends with her and she pushed the relationship. I don't think he really sees her that way. And that's possible. Sometimes, like I say, you start out one way. Sometimes you start off in a place in relationships. You start off in a place, you think that the relationship is going to go one way, and then something happens. Maybe a comment is made. It could come down to just one comment. Like, oh, I can't believe they said that. Yeah, that's not going to work. And you're done. So, Hi, James and everybody from chilly Netherlands. 6 a.m. and dark. And how are you? Doing well from the chilly Netherlands. Yeah, it's a little chilly out here, too. I'm going to put on my sweater. But a beanhead. Well, the thing with Mary and Amos is she had someone that was fun for her. Okay. To be with for a while. So she at least is starting to see her value. Yeah, 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 yeah. Raspberry. Let me join one of the body here. MLMs. Well, that's the whole thing. Like I said, I don't really want to put too much pressure on anybody, and I think that that's also part of the problem, or part of the pressure that I could see being born upon some of, like, Mary, and even somebody who she's in a relationship with, is that you could be in a situation where there's a lot of pressure because you guys are holding hands or you guys get caught kissing, all of a sudden you get married. Like, I just met her, I don't know her that well, you know. Well, you ain't gonna use her then. Am I using her? You know. So I want her to be able to explore, like, see, and again, that's a me thing, and I don't want to put too much of me on it, because I would recommend to her, because she has been sheltered in so many ways, that she go out and explore life. She explore these relationships, figure out what it is she wants out of these relationships, who she wants to be with, what type of man does she want to spend her time with, what type of man sending the flag up the flagpole, you know. What type of man, do you want to be with? Not just the fantasy man of, I want a 6'9" pilot or 6'5" pilot with a rock hard jaw and a 6 washboard abs and making six figures. Like, like the actual real person that you will want to be with, the type of person that you want to be with. But you only figure that out, in my experience, you only figure that out through experience. And, not everybody has my point of view. Some people, like Mary, she grew up in a situation where, people were a lot more conservative. Like, she married the first dude that she liked. Yeah, Laura B., the extraordinary time machine. The extraordinary machine. The machine. There was a ton of bad publicity for him and digging into bankruptcies, bad marriages, etc. Yeah, I mean, they roasted him. He was getting roasted a little bit. Like, I will say, the weird part about social media, you will find what you're looking for, if that makes sense. And I will elaborate. If you are on social media and you have any level of popularity or fame on social media, there will be some people who like you, and then some people who hate you. And maybe not, Robin, like a lot more people probably dislike you than love you. But with that being said, if you want to feel good about yourself, there are people who will support you. There are people who have contacted me and said, James, I think Robin's a good person. I think you guys have it all wrong. Like, I've had people contact me and say that. I disagree with them, but I respect their opinion, right? So not everybody sees everybody the same way. But when you are looking, you will find what you're looking for. And if he's looking for somebody who's saying negative things about him so he can feel a certain kind of way about it, that will be there. Because maybe it's just me, and maybe it's just my world or my little view. A lot of the comments I saw about Amos were positive. Like, I know people were saying, like, he had, like, they stated issues, or as I would take it, facts, that he was having problems, that he had bankruptcies, etc., etc., etc. But I didn't see anything where people were like, he had these things, so therefore he shouldn't be dating her. I saw you saying, like, she should be worried about, hopefully she knows about this stuff. But nothing like, oh, she should never talk to him again, or whatever the case may be. Cindy from Oz, Cody Brown, he's a clown. That Cody Brown, he's going to get caught. Just you wait and see. Why is everybody always picking on me? Cody Brown. I got you. Or play off the old Charlie Brown song. Sandra, she said, I think Mary is so new to the dating scene. Probably we all go through a couple of relationships and people we date before we find that one guy or girl. finding ourselves in the process. Yeah, yeah. Because with every relationship like that, you discover a little bit more about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what your do's are, what your don'ts are. So, I mean, that's what I hope for her, and hopefully she can expect or respect, or she can appreciate that position. I mean, but then again, she's got to do what she got to do. She got to conduct it the way she got to conduct it. Um, I used to watch Top Gear and then switch to the Grand Tour. When the original crew left, they used to showcase dream cars. Yeah, yeah. I used to watch Top Gear every now and again. It'd be hurting my heart. Like, oh, that car's so beautiful. Hell, didn't see the live. Oh, man. Schedule. I have to watch this afternoon because I need to go to bed. Yeah, I'm about to hit them sheets, too. They calling my name. Let's see. Mary's daughter. They say that her and mother had a conversation about the catfish. Maria couldn't forgive her. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Cody tried to take I'm partially to blame for this, but he knew that Mary's kid was pissed about it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm not really 100% on board with him taking full responsibility, because he turned right around and said that, he's been throwing that whole catfishing incident at her feet the whole time, at Mary's feet the whole time. Hey Joyce, no worries, no worries. Oh, spell check. Yeah, yeah, I got you, Stephanie. I think Mary Raspberry. I think Mary really wanted the eternity idea with Cody. Robin is more concerned about furnishing herself and the house. Yeah, yeah. But that's what he likes too. And that's kind of the weird thing about it too, is that you can't expect people to want the thing. Like if you, just because you're a good person, you can't expect a person who you want to be with, even though you're a good person to them, that they're going to expect and respect the fact that you're a good person. They might very well screw you over because you're a good person. And just because you're a good person and you're doing the right thing by them doesn't necessarily mean that they have to adhere to the fact or respect the fact that you're a good person to them and you're doing the right thing by them. They very well may turn around and say, oh, I don't care about that. That's not important to me. To Cody, what was important to him is that his wife was a quote-unquote diesel G model. And she was attractive. So it doesn't matter how nice Mary or Christine were to him. That's not what he cared about. He cared about what he cared about. Carmen Harper, the catfisher is evil. All catfishers have a problem. And there are so many vulnerable people that get taken by them. It pissed me off that anyone bought that monster's book. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've been out there. They've been running her. They not only have books, I think they have a YouTube channel. So, I think so. I know they've been releasing a lot of the tapes for the voicemails and stuff that Mary was leaving. I heard a couple of them. So rough. Yes, also, do you find out that Robin's friend was behind the catfish is suspicious. The fact that the whole catfish thing really chewed Mary up and spit her out when she needed kindness. Yeah. Well, it also broke her away from the family. So it's kind of curious that it worked out the way it did with everybody being as tied in as everybody is. Yeah, I think that's fair play. Cody does not care. Cody does not care if Christine and David live together. I think it's a control issue at the core of it. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the idea that you can tell them who He can control who she spends time with, how she spends time with those people. I think that's important to Cody. Uh, uh, I figured you had. Uh, that is stuck in my mind so much that he cared about truly if she were money. Yeah. If she was money, baby. Woo wee. Cody would have been right there in her face. Where you think you going, my honey bunny? You ain't going nowhere. I love Truly. Truly is that's my child. That's my child. She's half mine. How you gonna take my child? Like he would have been. Oh, he'd have been hot. He'd have been hot, especially when she's up talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna move another dude in. No, you ain't gonna move nobody next to my money. My money need to come stay with me then. Yeah, he wouldn't let Truly out of his sight. uh, James heard of the great sacrifices Cody made for Christine. It was like a knife in the kidneys. Yeah, right. All the sacrifices I made to love you, wasted. Oh man, every time I think about that shit, I'd have been so mad. It's like, oh, you laugh at that? You gotta laugh, or you be pissed off for a week. Um. Okay, well, I hadn't heard how you got into reality TV before. That's a great story. I wish I had someone do that with me growing up. Oh, well, it's not too late. You can always do it for somebody else. You know, because there's stuff that, like, I think that. Yeah, no, I gotta go to bed. But say, oh my God, James, 3 hours. That's insane. Yeah, no. I talk a lot. uh, yeah, I think that like I'll close it out on that. I think that that's for me. I think that it's a great opportunity for you when you have a chance to share your viewpoint or your perspective of life, relationships, etc. To try to download as much of that information or provide as much of that information as possible to your kids because they can benefit from your experience. And, good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case may be, you can give them a different perspective. I don't expect anybody, kids or not. Like, I really don't expect them to just do what I tell them to do. Or this is what I think you should do the way I would do it because this is how I see the world. I want to give them the diversity of choice so that way they can understand that there are other alternatives or other possibilities. Like you're not necessarily locked in, even when you're faced with challenging issues or problems or obstacles, you're not locked into one action, one behavior. There might be other options or choices that you have to make. Now, some of those choices may not be pleasant. Some of those choices may not be desirable. They might not be ideal. Like, oh, I want to be able to study longer. Like, what I mean? I want to spend more money. Like, it's just something maybe you don't want to do. But it's just understanding that you don't have to fit everything into a box of just your understanding. And just to give, like, even round it out, and I apologize if it's kind of rambly, but even to give the perspective of, if we're having these conversations, you can always come to me and talk to me about these things because, people will do what they've done. And so if we are in a situation where we can sit down and have conversations about stuff, and that's something that we do, then it's not out of the ordinary or out of the realm of possibility that if something were to become an issue, that we could sit down and have a conversation about that particular relationship or that problem, because that's what we do. We talk about relationships and stuff. So it just gives leaves the door for, at least from my perspective, or at least in my mind. In my mind, I sound like Robin. In my mind, it just leaves the opportunity for us to be able to have conversations about things that she may need to talk about or want to talk about. And so, it's, maybe it, maybe it works well, or maybe it won't, but we'll see. We've had good conversations, and things will happen, and she coming to me and talk to me, and I don't know if that's because of just me being around or talking to her all the time, or maybe it's because of the reality shows. I don't know, but I figure if it's there and I could use it, then I'm gonna use it. Yep. But guys, I'm gonna have to let you guys go. I gotta get something to eat at some point. I gotta get some sleep. I gotta do some stuff. And tomorrow I'm gonna get up. I'm going to start working on the Patreon stuff. I'm gonna start working on my Discord. I gotta check into the emails. I will do that, and I will also check on my Facebook. So if you guys want to hook up some stuff on Facebook, just take advantage. We got the Facebook page there. Just join the group, the MyTakeOnReality group. We talk on there every now and again. Also, if you're having problems or you're not getting notified of when I drop videos or whatever, I drop them also on Facebook so that, sometimes the YouTube algorithm doesn't like a brother. Like they don't appreciate a player. They like, nope. So that it'll always be between here or the on YouTube. You might get the notifications. Make sure you click the notifications button. Sometimes, as weird as it is, I've had a couple people say that they had to turn the notifications off and then turn the notifications back on because they weren't getting notified about stuff. And some folks, it worked out a little better. But I'll also drop it on the YouTube, and we're going to set up a Discord and set that up so that we can get some things rocking and rolling on there as well. All right, guys. Peanut Butter, thank you. I want to thank the mods as well for holding it down for a player while I was talking. Yeah, great. I see some comments I want to comment on, but I gotta go. You guys are drawing me back in. It's like the mob, y'all pulling me back in. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys giving me your take. I'm probably going to do another video because I don't know if I really explained MLM, the evils of MLMs as well as I wanted to tonight. So I'm going to tighten it up. I'm going to put out a video. I'm going to put out videos on Love After Lockup. I'm also going to drop a video on guys this week. I had promised I was going to do it because I have a little bit of a different perspective on guys' reactions when they hear news about pregnancies, so on and so forth, and something I think may be able to, or at least I was told, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, just why guys react the way they do. So look for that video, and that should be dropping this week as well. I plan on coming out with a whole bunch more stuff this week because I have cleared the decks, and I'm gonna be able to put out a lot more content. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it. Oh, just as a reminder, I won't be on tomorrow with Sarah and Amanda because the crew can't get together this week because somebody's on vacation. I'm not going to holler no names out. I'm not going to out nobody. But we will be back next Monday, all live in effect, all three of us, hitting hard. We'll be reviewing some more of the Sister Wives stuff. And hopefully you guys can join in then. All right? But thank you guys so much for being super chill. Thanks to the mods. Thanks for everybody participating. Thanks for keeping the chat fun, exciting, safe, and cool. Appreciate you guys. That's my take. I'm James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out.